Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Make sure you guys can hear me.
Nope. Nope. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. And we are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp. And welcome. Welcome to episode 35 of the Hard R podcast, where we keep it all the way real about nigga shit. That's right, I said nigga shit. Damn right. So we got some pretty. So niggas got good news today. Niggas got good news today. Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old accused of first degree murder of Walter. God damn it. I do apologize. I'm gonna have to kick out my cat. Hey! I do apologize, guys. I don't know what in the world has gotten into my cat lately. I do apologize. Anyway, he has been released. King of Life in the chat says, no lie, it's time to start building movable homes. Yeah, man. So Carmelo Anthony has been released. He has been released on $250 bond. And I think her name is Judge, let me get her. Yeah, Judge Angela Tucker. Judge Angela Tucker. She's the judge of the 199th District Court in Collin County. According to her Twitter or X bio, she is a believer, wife, mom, Texas Longhorn, and SMU law alum. So what she did is she reduced Mr. Anthony's bond to from $1 million to $250,000. And when she did that, that ostensibly gave Carmelo Anthony or Team Anthony the latitude to get him out. So they got him out. They posted his bond. There are several videos I'm going to react to. There are several videos I'm going to play, including the press conference from the district attorney who is prosecuting the case, as well as Mr. Anthony's attorney, who appears to be doing a pretty good job of defending his client at this point. And there we go. Off you go. And so let me read some of your. I'll read you guys' comments as we go. But let's go ahead and get started. Let's just go ahead and get started. I'm not going to spend too much time yammering on about this because we have a lot to go over. So let's play this first video. So this is just a video. This right here. This is just a video. There's no sound actually. Oh, wait a minute. This is just a video. I guess there is sound. So this is just the video of him being released from the Collin County Jail here. And as you can see,
we're up.
there we go. So this is him leaving. And here come the reporters. I'm going to put the closed captions up here. Oh, they're unavailable. Closed captions are unavailable. That's interesting. Whoa. And guys, don't worry about it. There are other videos that I'm going to react to that have better sound. Of course, there's no comment.
Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Carmelo Anthony is doing absolutely the right thing by keeping his mouth shut. He shouldn't say anything to anybody. This is the right move. His attorneys have clearly given him rock solid legal advice as he walked from the jail to, I guess, the vehicle that they're going to transport him home in. Apparently, he's been released on $250,000 bond on the contingency. So I guess this is just the same video of him. Coming out. You can see he's scared, man. You can see the look on his face. You guys can see that he's scared. He's worried. Listen, man, he's going to be on trial for murder. I think it is reasonable to assume that he is absolutely scared. He's like a deer in the headlights. But you know what they say, man. You do the crime, you got to do the time. This dude wanted to be a gangster. And he did some gangster shit. And now he is on trial for his life. Now he's on trial for murder. Let's watch. Here's another video. This is from Fox Local News 4. We're gonna watch several of these because a lot of them have different reporters that have different information.
Within the past hour, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony has been released from the Collin County Jail after posting bond. A judge reduced his bond this morning from $1 million to $250,000. He's facing a murder charge after police say he stabbed another teenager, Austin Metcalf, while at a track meet at a Frisco high school. Stephen Dial is in McKinney with more. Stephen.
Carmelo Anthony left the Collin County Jail in a suit but had nothing to say to the reporters before he got into that vehicle. The district court judge says that she looked at all the factors in this case, him not having a criminal history, and that led to her making her decision to reduce his bond. 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony was silent after bonding out of the Collin County Jail and being placed on house arrest.
How is this self-defense?
2 days after the family of Austin Metcalf buried their son, they were at the Collin County Courthouse for a bond reduction hearing Monday. Carmelo Anthony is accused of stabbing and killing Metcalf at a Frisco track meet earlier this month. The case has quickly become national news, drawing a lot of attention, resulting in threats and increased security at the courthouse.
Now this guy right here, oh, never mind. I was just going to point that out.
Threats and, talk of race war and all kinds of insanity.
Yeah, the talk of race war is funny. The talk of race war is actually, it's actually quite funny, guys. If there were a quote-unquote race war, who do you think would start this race war, right? It certainly wouldn't be white people.
Isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family.
Cameras were not allowed inside the courtroom, but we did capture the Anthony family arriving. His father, Andrew, testified in the hearing. District Court Judge.
Damn, Andrew, look, Andrew Anthony's got a clean, dude, I'm gonna tell you what, his hairline's almost as tight as mine. Y'all, listen, man, y'all know I got the tightest hairline, I got the tightest fade in the game right now, but I gotta give credit to Carmelo's dad.
Angela Tucker said that she's never gotten this volume of calls and had to have this level of security in the courtroom in her 13 years on the bench.
Yeah, so Clotis McEwen says, I don't agree with what he did, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't seem as if he is a threat to the community. I agree with that. I agree with that, guys. I agree with that. Okay. If it is your opinion that if it's your opinion that Carmelo Anthony should remain in jail throughout the entire process, including his trial, I'm not mad at you for that. I'm not mad at you for that. Okay. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm gonna try to remove emotion from this, because emotion is something that we all have. We're all human, right? We all have had emotional reactions. We've all had emotional reactions to this. But in my opinion, as Luke Perry says, Clotis is setting off the niggadar. No. Listen. It's okay that he's going to be home. He's going to be wearing an ankle monitor, and if he wants to leave the house, he has to clear it with the court. Okay? Honestly, this is the least they could do. All right? And I'm going to give more of my opinion a little bit later on, but dude, this nigga's guilty. This nigga is going to prison. Or at least he should go to prison. He should go to prison. He absolutely should go to prison. Listen, he's not a flight risk. As far as I know, his family doesn't have money like that. Yeah, they've raised, $400,000, but they don't even have access to that money yet. Okay, so listen, I'm good. I'm good with him being released, under house arrest. I don't care about that. I'm not going to be one of these people who says, lock him up and throw away the key, blah, 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 blah. All right. He is absolutely guilty, guys. He's absolutely guilty. His life is over, guys. His life is over. You guys what you guys need to understand is that this kid's life is never going to be the same. Regardless of what the verdict is, this kid's life will never, ever, ever be the same. If you don't believe me, just ask Colin Finnerty, David Evans, and Reed Seligman of the Duke lacrosse case, right? Those guys, honestly, those boys probably changed their names. They'll never set foot in the state of North Carolina again, right? So, listen, I know we all want justice to be served. We all want justice to be served. Justice is coming to Carmelo. Justice is coming to Carmelo. This isn't karma. This is cause and effect. Okay, when you stab an unarmed kid, when you stab an unarmed kid to death, this is what happens. This is what happens. Looks like we've already got someone who has pulled up. We got Jamie Herring in the house. All right, Jamie. All right. So I'm sure that you are clearly aware of this news. Carmelo Anthony is out on $250,000 bond. Now, I'll just go ahead and let you know that I don't have a problem with the bond reduction per se. Okay, let me just get your opinion first, because I'm trying to be I guess in my attempt to not be like these emotional niggas out here making excuses for this kid's criminal behavior. I'm trying to be as reasonable, as rational as possible. As far as I'm concerned, the reason why I don't have a problem with him getting bonded out is because this kid deserves to be in jail, and if he is found guilty, he will spend a substantial portion of his life in prison. Number one. Number two, he's not a flight risk, as far as I know, right? And even if he were, they've got the ankle monitor on. At least he can spend the last few days of freedom as a minor within the confines of his home. That being said, I can understand why a lot of people are up in arms about this bond reduction and his subsequent release. What say you, Jamie?
In my opinion, this is unbelievable.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think he should remain in jail until his court date, until he gets sentencing. And even though he might have an ankle monitor on, to monitor his activities, and still, I believe he deserves to still be locked the fuck up for that crime he committed against that boy.
Okay.
And that's crazy. That the only reason he got a bail bond was because they did a GoFundMe, right?
Yeah, and so they did a
because we know his parents ain't had the money,
right?
Like
so here's what happened. So she reduced.
She
reduced the bond. She reduced the bond as a former criminal, right? As a 4-time convicted felon. Here's how this works. In order for them to have gotten him out on that $1 million bond, they would have had to come up with either 10 or 15% of that $1 million. Now, the way it works is this, okay? Bond and bail are essentially the same thing, okay? If you pay the $1 million to get out of jail or the $250,000 to get out of jail, that is bail. You get all that money back when you show up for your first court date. That's the difference. That's the bail money. When you bond out for 10 to 15% of the set bond amount, depending upon the bail bondsman. Some bail bondsmen charge 10%, some charge 15%. Typically, the higher the bond, typically when you get into six-figure bonds, there are bondsmen that will say, okay, I normally charge 15%, but if your bond is 150 grand, I'll charge you 10%. It's 15,000 to get out. So what happened is in order for Melo to have gotten out of jail with that $1 million bond, the Anthony family would have had to come up with $100,000. They've raised $400,000 on this go, send, give, send, go, but they don't have access to those funds yet. My guess is that they'll probably use those funds for his subsequent legal fees. By the judge lowering this to $250,000, the Anthony family came up with the $25,000 to get him out. Who knows? Maybe they mortgaged their house, whatever the case may be. So that is what's happened. That's the reason why he is out on bond, is because of the fact that she lowered the bond to $250,000. So it was $25,000 to get him out instead of $100,000 to get him out. So I just wanted to clear that up. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't have much of an opinion on this. My only opinion is I feel like he should still remain in jail, because even with an anger monitor, what if he goes and commit another crime?
Okay.
And what kind of standard are we standing that this man committed murder?
Yes.
And I feel like if you commit murder, I don't care how much the what's it called again?
The bail bonds, the bond amount?
The bail bonds. I don't care how much the bail bottoms is. I said bail bottoms. What is it again?
It's called it's a bond. It's either a bond or a bail.
I don't care how much the bond is and stuff like that. This man committed murder, and he should remain in jail until he gets arraigned and trial.
Okay.
And sent off to prison where he belongs, because I don't know what's going on with the U.S. Court system, but they just giving these criminals a free pass.
Yep. Yeah.
And I don't think that's right, that he's out and he's free. He just needs to remain in jail until his arraignment. That's all I can say, man.
Okay. All right. And this is funny. Trey Ball says, get out of your feelings, Jamie. This is a legal process. Well, listen.
Get out of my feelings. Who you talking to like that, man? I ain't nobody in my feelings, though, man. This man committed a crime. He committed murder. So shut up.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, King Lou says, get this guy out of here.
Because I'm going to say this. Whoever this person that made that comment, he would have committed a crime against your child, your son, or your daughter.
There you go.
You won't be saying that. So
there you
be
go.
Quiet. Watch what you say.
There you go. That was exactly what I was going. That's exactly what I was going to say as sort of a response to what you said. Listen, it's easy for me to sit here and say, hey, look, I'm okay with the kid being at home, but if I'm Mr. Metcalf, I'm incensed. I'm like, dude, this kid stabbed my kid to death. My kid went to a track meet. He lost his life. And the other kid who stabbed him to death is now at home. My kid is 6 feet underground while this kid is at home. So I can certainly understand. The other side.
And whoever made that comment, he or she, they don't understand that though. But if it happened to their child,
they would be the
Their mindset would have been totally different.
No, I totally agree. I'm gonna have some other thoughts here about this, and I don't think this is gonna be the last that we hear from you. Give me your final thoughts on this particular bond hearing here.
Like I said, I don't have much to say. I just feel like he should still remain in jail because he committed murder, and that's just what it is, though. But I do have a question I want to ask you.
Sure, go ahead.
Are you still going to have the show about colorism?
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, please do that show, man.
We will.
Yeah, because I really want to speak on that topic, though. Okay, and that's all I really want to say, man. So I'm gonna sit back and watch the show. I'll be in the comment section, and that's pretty much it, man.
Appreciate it, Jamie. Thanks for coming in, man. Listen. This particular. Yeah, absolutely. This particular issue, guys, I'm telling you, man, it is a polarizing issue. If I'm Austin Metcalf's family, I'm pissed. I am absolutely pissed off. I can't really say anything else about that. You know, and in my fervor to not try to be quote unquote emotional or try to be like niggas, you know, I'm sitting here, you know, making justifications, et cetera, but I get it. I understand. I absolutely positively understand. Let's continue with this. Let's continue with this video. I've heard somebody else pop up or pull up. We'll get to them here shortly.
Court documents say Anthony stabbed Metcalf during a fight. When an officer arrived, court documents say Anthony told the officer, "I was protecting myself." Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis spoke after the hearing.
The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next, and it's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
And by the way, guys, I do have the full press conference from both the DA and the defense attorney.
Anthony's father testified he's taking a leave from work because of the incident, and his wife is a stay-at-home mother with 3 other children. During the hearing, the prosecution brought up the fact that more than $400,000 have been raised for the Anthony family, saying a reduction is not needed because they have the funds. A big question in this case will be, why did Anthony bring a weapon to a high school stadium?
There you go.
It's a question that was asked of his attorney.
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into.
Frankly, we're prepared to even go into. Clotus McEwen says he may not have his trial for years. That's exactly right. And one thing that the black community has been very consistent about in terms of the rhetoric when it comes to these issues is justice delayed is justice denied. Justice delayed is justice denied. So if this kid is allowed to live at home for 1.5 to 2.5 years until his trial, that's justice delayed. Because I can promise you, if this was a white kid who stabbed a black kid to death, I guarantee you niggas would be up in arms. Keep his ass in jail. Keep his ass in jail. So you want to know something? I'll put it to you like this, y'all. I'll put it to you like this. It's tough to really come down on this, because if I'm Carmelo Anthony's father, I want him at home too. But if I'm Austin Metcalf's father, I want that nigga in jail. God damn it. I want his ass in jail. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to it. The Dennis Moore says they are Christians and it won't bother them. That's on the Rumble site. So the Dennis Moore, oh yes. Oh, we've got a nigga in the track. We got a nigga in the track. Or I'm sorry, we got a nigga in the chat. Absolutely, the niggadar is loud and clear, and the niggadar absolutely never gets it wrong. The Dennis Moore, nigga, said he got all the cash, so why is he home? The dad, the dad is at home because he doesn't want to be dealing with this. Let's continue.
Now, in the
whoever's in the pull-up studio, I'll be with you in a second.
opening statement to the media from that interview that you just heard, he led with talking about self-defense. Again, the court documents mention self-defense. We'll have to wait and see how that defense will be made in court when things pan out. Now, according to the judge, the terms of the bond are house arrest and ankle monitor. She told him to stay off social media, and he has to personally call her bailiff every Friday morning, not his parents, but him. And there's a list of other things that is set, and if he violates that, he'll return to the Collin County Jail.
That is what happens if he violates it. That's what happens if he violates it. Let's listen to, all right, let's watch another. And guys, I'm going to give my take on all of this. I promise you. Promise you. Let us go to, all right, we got King Groove 713. King Groove 713 says Ninja Pimp OP. King Groove, what's on your mind, man?
Hey, what's up, Donovan? How you doing, brother?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm cool, brother. I can give a good insight perspective on the situation because I'm here in North Texas right now. Been here for about the past 14 years, brother.
Okay. All right. So what you got?
All right. First off, let me say salute on the success of your channel. When I get some more money, I'll be a member again. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
For real, though, okay, number one, let's talk about the demographics of Frisco, Texas.
Okay.
That sits in Collin County, right?
Right.
In Frisco, if you drive 20 miles in either direction, okay, there's no ghettos. There's no Section 8. they haven't had violent crime out there for like 10 years.
Okay.
Except for recently when a couple of dumb niggas shot this boy, went over to his apartment and shot the boy in the next city over.
Oh my
and
God.
the judge, which was a white man, said, we're going to make an example of y'all because we're not having this shit out in Collin County.
Right.
This boy having a knife there, you know what I'm saying? It's like a dude trying to go meet President Trump with a grenade in his pocket.
Okay.
The fuck are you doing?
Right.
Bad
Okay.
intentions. Okay. Now, 10 years ago, there were no black judges. There weren't really any blacks going to the school. Now, if you look at the photos of the varsity basketball team and the varsity track team and the varsity men's basketball team, you're going to see that about half of all those students are black. Half of Austin Metcalf's friends were black. So I don't want to hear no shit about this being racist. I don't give a damn, you know what I'm saying, what color the kid was. You brought a knife to school. He was already under a suspension for bringing that knife to his school. There's no crime. There's no gangs. There's no thugs. This dude is from Baton Rouge, where my cousin, who was in the Army, is from. He told me this guy got kicked out of a ghetto school for being a punk and being a little ass over there. So this is a problem. And I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, brother, he's made it hard for blacks who want to move to affluent areas. We're going to get looked at crazy right now.
That's right. That's right.
I'm already seeing it.
You're already seeing it?
Bruh. Where I live at is a similar suburb to Frisco, not as wealthy. There's no way in hell I could afford to live out there. Like Steve Harvey had a house out there. Shaq has a house out there.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah, so you
Frisco,
like-
Texas, that is a legit affluent area.
The houses that like start at about $1.5 million.
Woo! Wow. God
Yeah. Me and my dad used to go out there. They got one of the nicest buffets in probably the country. Chinese buffet.
Yes,
They got
yes,
all kind of luxurious shit. They got a whole display of the terracotta warriors, all that kind of stuff. And me and my dad used to go out there starting like 10 years ago. It took us 5 years to see another black person in that buffet.
Damn.
Just to give you an idea of that area. So what this little fool did, and bro, I'm like you. I come from a real rough background. I've been a bouncer and security off and on for over like 20-something years. Had my security company. I was in the streets. I used to mentor black and Hispanic youth at the George Foreman Youth Center down in Houston.
Okay.
So I done put my time in, trying to help out on both sides of the fence. But bruh, what this dude did right here is just showing how stupid niggas are and these dumb bitches that support them. And these dudes that are supporting them, these pro-black simps, they ain't nothing but a bunch of coochie beggars.
Woo! Tell him, man. Tell him, bruh. And here's the thing. Here's something else, King Groove, that I would add. Him being released on bond, and if he is acquitted, it is, and I'll talk about this later, what this does is this almost sets a legal precedent. If you are a black kid and you commit a crime against a white person, you know that the nigga community is going to get behind you. You know they are absolutely going to get behind you, and they're going to do their level best to raise all the funds. They haven't even accessed the funds yet at this point. And the kid is already out of jail. So now black kids are going to think to themselves, you know what? There's somebody at school that I got a bone to pick with. They'll bring a weapon, a gun, a knife, whatever the case may be. They'll shoot or stab a kid, and then just like Carmelo Anthony say, all right, it was self-defense, blah 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 blah. And then now, regardless of whatever happens there, happens. If they release him, they release him. If they don't, they don't. But the point is another kid is dead, right? And so what this does is this essentially lets black students know that if they commit a crime against a white student, if they make it public enough, if they make it racially charged, whatever the case may be, that they too can go home until their trial. And dude, don't get me started on what happens if he's actually acquitted.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I smell, like somebody in the comments said something about George Soros. I believe there's got to be something slick going on. I ain't gonna lie, because she has to be the only black. I was gonna say a certain type of woman, but we'll leave that for Rumble. You already know. I've been rocking with you for over 10 years, bro. So we know.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely know, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, back when you and me were about 30 pounds lighter. You feel me?
Real shit.
Straight up. No, but for real though, like I'm looking at the situation, bro. I'm shocked at how dumb these black folks. If you can, no, these ain't black folks. These are niggas. We black folks. These are hard R niggas.
Yep.
And I'm gonna say this. This is the crazy shit about it. Where the little dude's from, where my cousin still lives at, the one who's a captain in the army, he goes to a ghetto ass barbershop by the neighborhood he grew up. All those dudes in there, a lot of guys like our age and older and shit, they're all like, fuck that little dude. The only blacks, and I want to stress this again, the only pro-black simps that are supporting this little bastard are these suburban Carlton Banks, Steve Urkel motherfuckers.
Wow. It's almost like they're trying to get street cred. I'm gonna support Carmelo Anthony because I want to get my quote unquote black card. I don't want to get my black card revoked, whatever the case may be. I'll give you the last word.
Like you feel, fucking guilty and shit. Cause what is that shit? What's that big suburb starts with a G? Gwenda, whatever it is out there outside of Philly. With all those big castles and shit.
Yeah, I know.
I can't think of the name.
I could have told you, but yeah, they're no. I know exactly. I know the. I know
you get what I'm. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like these bastards went to those schools and grew up in places like that, like Malibu, Beverly Hills and shit like that. The Woodlands, Texas, all these places.
Yes, sir.
Fucking Hartford, Connecticut, and this the Hamptons, and now I've said it for years. These little bastards have that black guilt. So you got fucking Hillary and Carlton in this motherfucker all upset. And some of them even go forward saying they're glad that the white boy is dead. And I'm like, wait a minute. What happened if that was your kid or your niece or nephew or little brother or sister?
Right.
Like y'all don't understand. Y'all do not understand. When this shit happened, there was an equal amount of black, white, and like Tongan and Samoan kids under that tent for that school.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? They were all telling him, get somewhere. The only way they even realized he was back there is because he was bullying them. He was behind them, and it's on my local news. So if anybody else has a problem with what I'm saying, they can look it up and then suck my dick. So I'm going to put it like this here. It was on the local news. They said he started shouting at them from behind them, saying, F y'all school, y'all a bunch of PUSs, whatever. So they turned around, and that's when the Austin boy said, dude, who are you?
Okay.
And he kept running off with the mouth. So he said, hey, man, get out of here. And you already know what happened from there. Didn't nobody jump him? Wasn't nobody bullying him and shit. I witnessed the same thing at a club a couple years ago. Last time I went to a black strip club, my homeboy was supposed to be performing in there, had a little rap group. They didn't even get to perform. Little skinny black dude that looked like him with fucking long dreadlocks started some shit with a group of Tongans. They beat this motherfucker to death. They beat him with a chair. And he kept running his mouth. They kept trying to tell him, hey, man, this is a birthday party. We're just trying to chill. We don't want no problems. And he kept on. Finally, you know what I'm saying? He got fucked up. So then the black bitch, the Miss Seeley looking broad, started screaming for security. Unfortunately for them, the head of security was the cousin to the dude who's the Tongan guy whose birthday it was. So he kind of just let it happen. Okay. So when it was all over, after they beat him with the metal chair, he was laying there. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We got too many niggas in the black community that run their mouth and don't expect to get got. That's all I got to say, bro.
Very nice. Hey, King Groove, thanks for chiming in, brother. Hey, listen, he's right, man. He's right. And I'm gonna tell you what, man. There's a lot of people in Trey Ball. I'm gonna get to you here in just a second. I see that you're in there. I think what a lot of people tend to a lot of people on the nigga side, I like to call it. Well, we don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole situation. We'll see when the truth comes out, guys. Dude, it really does appear that there are many more details that show that Carmelo Anthony provoked this confrontation. So if they prove, dude, I'm telling you right now, if they prove that Carmelo Anthony provoked this confrontation, combined with the fact that he brought a knife to school, this nigga's guilty. Dude, I'm telling you right now, listen, there is a world in which this kid walks, and I'll get to that possibility. But if this kid is acquitted, there will be not only unintended consequences, these will be irreversible consequences. King of Life with the $2 super chat says it's not a street fight, it's a school fight. Yep, you're goddamn right. John Bauman with the $20 super chat Says dumb, good, no, he says dumb question. Does the bail bondsman keep the entire $25K, or does the family get some back if the suspect doesn't flee? Very good question by John Bauman. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. No, the bail bondsman keeps all the money. Okay, so let me quickly run this down. Let's say, so the bond is at $250,000. Okay, the bail is at $250,000. If the Anthony family paid the court or the jail $250,000, Carmelo Anthony gets released. The Anthony family gets that $250,000 back, all of it, all $250K, every penny back after Melo makes his first court appearance. Okay. However, when you pay a bondsman, that money is gone forever. Okay, that money is gone forever. The reason why that money is gone forever is because it is the bondsman that assumes the risk. The bondsman is there to ensure that you make it to court. We have all seen the show Dog the Bounty Hunter, right? The criminals that Dog the Bounty Hunter are hunting are people who have jumped bail. The reason why Dog the Bounty Hunter is after them is because he is the bondsman that the accused had hired to make sure they get to court. Okay, so that's the difference. In order to get out of jail and not have to pay as much, that's what the bondsman is for. The bondsman assumes that risk. That's why they're armed. That's why they've got teams, et cetera, et cetera. Very, very, very good question. So that family is out. That family right now is out $25,000. That's how that goes. Very, very good question. Very good question. No, that's okay. That's okay. That is quite all right. King Life says, no life. They bug his phone and he's seen bragging about it to his friends. Lock him up. Nope, I agree. King Life also says, Tongans and Samoans do not play. Guys, I lived in Hawaii on 2 separate occasions for a total of 8 years. They do not fuck around out there in the islands. They do not. All right, let me go to Trey Ball. Trey Ball is in the house. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Donovan? What's going on, Chad?
Doing good, man. So what's on your mind, man? What are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Well, I was very interested in what you just said. You think there's a world where he walks? I don't think there's a world where he walks at all. I think
Hear me out. No. Hear me out. This kid should go to prison for the rest of his life. Let's get that right. But we got to remember what happened in the OJ case, Trey. The OJ Simpson jury was not only biased because they were in LA County. If let's just say for the sake of argument, what would have happened in LA had OJ been convicted? They might have rioted again. And so in Frisco, Texas, which is a predominantly white area, if Melo is convicted, obviously white people, I can't remember the last time white people rioted, but if Carmelo Anthony is convicted, all right, there is just based on what we know about niggas and nigga culture, there is a better than average probability that niggas might descend on Frisco, Texas and start destroying that goddamn city. And now we've got a war zone. So now, do I think he's going to be acquitted? No, but that to me in a fucked up way, because look, man, they've got almost $500,000 raised for this kid's defense. They're going to get Carmelo Anthony the best lawyer that money can buy. And if they are able to do what Johnny Cochran was able to do in LA County all those years ago, now 30 years ago, and make this about race and dirty cops and this and that and the third and Mark Furman, that might negatively influence the jury. That hopefully that doesn't happen, but that to me, that is a world where I believe Carmelo Anthony could be acquitted, unlawfully acquitted. What are your thoughts there?
So that's what. Yeah. So that's what I was asking. I was speaking like technically, legally.
Technically, he should go to prison.
You're talking about, because I think it's open shut legally. And that's why Jamie took me wrong. I mean, I said get out of your feelings. I was joking, but
sure,
I was being half honest as well, because I'm looking at it from a technical, logical, legal perspective. I was a pre-law student, so I only care right now. I just find it interesting the legality of it all. Because quite frankly, your emotions don't matter right now, Donovan. Mine, Austin Metcalf's dad,
Melo Anthony's dad.
No one emotions matter right now outside of the jurors. Maybe that's the only person, emotions that matter. So I guess I was just speaking from that perspective. Obviously, I think it's an open and shut case. I think the only thing that's to matter right now is he going to get manslaughter, second degree, third degree? I think that's the only thing we're going to go to trial about. Honestly.
Yeah. Oh, so you think? Oh, okay. So if there is now, do you think that he gets convicted So there is, I suppose, if the jury deliberates, right, they can come back and say, okay, he's not guilty of first-degree murder, but he is guilty of negligent manslaughter,
and that could be a huge difference, Donovan.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Negligent manslaughter might carry, 5 to 15 years, and he may do 2 of those. And second-degree murder is 25 years to life.
Yeah.
So that's the very interesting part of this that I only think about is the legal side of things. Yeah. So
listen, I agree with you, Trey, and I'm sure Jamie didn't. Listen, man, this is a very... Listen, man, I get emotional about this stuff as much as anybody, even though this has nothing to do with, with me or my family, thankfully. And I try to rein in my emotions, but I mean, the truth of the matter is emotions are going to be a part of this process. I mean, he's going to be tried by a jury of his peers. And there's going to be some emotional testimony. There's going to be some emotional evidence. And that's just kind of how that is. I'll give you the last word, Trey.
Yeah, and that was it. I was just speaking about the actual legal process of bonds, and obviously you just broke it down because you know the ins and outs of it.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Maybe her reducing it, you can look at that and maybe say, that was wrong. But I was just speaking on the fact that it got reduced. No one's feelings matter in that regard.
That makes
legal
sense.
Process. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Thanks for stopping in, Trey.
Show, man. Everyone have a good show.
You too, brother. Appreciate it. Trey Ball. Coming in, setting the record straight. Uh-oh. We got a nigga in the chat. We got Blue Blood Royalty says, how is it open and shut? And you don't even have all the facts. Then Blue says, y'all some real clowns. Bruh. Blue Blood Royalty, you are not a black man, my friend. You are a nigga. Straight up. There's a big difference between black people and niggas. You are a nigga. So and so I would like for you, Blue Blood, speak, because here's the thing. Yeah, y'all just want an echo chamber. Yeah, okay, that's cool. Niggas like you are fucking cowards. You guys love to troll and talk all this shit in the comments, but I want to talk to you, Blue Blood Royalty. You see, I'm not afraid of confrontation. Right now, you are acting like a hard R. Yes, you are. However, I'm not afraid to talk to you. I'm not afraid to talk to people that disagree with me, but I'm gonna tell you what, I am not going to go back and forth with me showing my face and you in the chat. So nigga, pull up. Oh, he says far from one, huh? Okay. I'll tell you what, nigga. Pull the fuck up. Show your face on camera, because guess what? Now your ass is fucking banned. Now what you gonna do? Nigga? Pull the fuck up. You want to talk about some Blue Blood Royalty? Cool. And matter of fact, hold up. I'll even tag your ass. Blue Blood Royalty. Pull the fuck up. There it is. There's the StreamYard link. I will unban you if you come up and have a conversation with me, because I am not going back and forth with dumb niggas like you in the comments. Nice try. Yeah. Dude, he's a noob. He thought he was just going to come in here and troll and be able to get away with that. No. And then when I ban him, he can say, well, he's going to ban me because he doesn't want to know the truth. No, I'm banning you because I know you're a fucking coward. Swear to God, niggas, man. Niggas. All right, I don't have anybody else in the pull-up studio. Let's react to another video.
17-year-old accused of murder walking out of the Collin County Jail this afternoon after posting bond. Thanks for joining us here at 5 on a Monday. I'm Nicole Baker.
And I'm Doug Dunbar. So let's dive into it. Carmelo Anthony had been in jail since the 2nd of April, accused still today of killing another teenager. That's Austin Metcalf. And that accused killing happened at a track meet at a high school. Today, a judge reduced Anthony's bond from $1 million all the way down to $250,000. J.D. Miles was there for it. He's live for us right now outside the Collin County Jail. Anthony just left. We saw the video. What else do we need to know?
That's right, Doug and Nicole. Just 6 hours or about that much time after a judge lowered his bond.
Blue Blood, why you still here, nigga? Pull up. I haven't heard you pull up yet. If you're so if you're so big and bad, if you're gonna be all, oh, you guys are clowns, tell me to my face, bro. Go on, tell me to my face.
Anthony was released. The judge who made the decision warned the accused murderer that if he violates any terms of his probation or tries to leave his home, he will be brought back right here to the Collin County Jail.
you'd like to say to the victims?
Listen, do you have anything you'd like to say to the victims? Let's see if the closed captions are here. Here we go.
Carmelo Anthony emerged from the Collin County Jail 13 days after his arrest for the murder of Austin.
Dude, they already fucked up.
He emerged from the.
They already fucked up. You want to know why the defense already fucked up? Okay. His lawyer fucked up. You want to know why his lawyer fucked up? Because his lawyer didn't tell Carmelo Anthony to cut his goddamn hair. Okay? He didn't tell Carmelo Anthony to cut his goddamn hair. He should have told him to cut his hair. That's the reason why Michael Vick, you remember when Michael Vick was accused of the dog fighting? His lawyer, very smartly, very acutely aware of optics, said, Mike, it's time to cut them dreads. Time to cut them braids. Right? Time to cut them braids. He cut those braids. He looked less like a nigga. Carmelo Anthony still looks like a nigga. He still looks like a nigga. Matter of fact, he needs to have his hair like they have his hair on all this propaganda shit. Yeah, Luke Perry says the hair makes him look good. Absolutely it makes him look good. Absolutely makes him look good. So look, man, okay, they got him. Obviously, he's wearing a suit, and I can tell you that he's never worn a suit before. This is definitely a non-tailored suit. You can tell that the suit is much too big for his body, but they're trying to make this kid look like a law-abiding, upstanding citizen. Yeah, there's just one problem. You didn't tell him to get you didn't tell him to cut his hair. He looks too much like a nigga. Too bad. Too bad. The Dennis Moore says, maybe give him the key to the city. The kid looks like he thinks he is the victim. Yeah, he probably does. King Colonels says, I love it when Donovan turns ghetto. I love that part of it. Yeah, listen, man, I got a little nigga in me.
The Collin County Jail 13 days after his arrest for the murder of Austin Metcalf. The high school student had nothing to say as he headed to his parents' home, where he will be confined to an ankle monitor. It's the result of a hearing this morning over whether to lower his bond. The families of both Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf arrived at the Collin County Courthouse this morning with extra security in and around the courtroom. A new defense attorney.
They arrived with extra security. Dude, look, this is funny. Isn't it so funny how the Anthony family is assuming that white people are like niggas? Right? They're rolling up with extra security. No, I'm sorry. White people are not like niggas. White people aren't trying to snuff people out in court. That don't happen that way. Niggas would do that shit. If Carmelo Anthony were a white man, yeah, I'd roll up there with security, but there was no need for security because white people don't act like niggas.
Attorney representing the Frisco teen accused of murder had his client's father testify about his son's character, telling the judge he was a captain of his football and track team.
See, there it is. That's the haircut. This right here is the haircut he should have come out with. It's almost like he's still trying to hold on to the last vestiges. He's trying to hold on to the last vestiges of his street cred. He's already got a bunch of street cred as of right now. He's already got street cred because he stabbed a white boy to death. He said he's going to keep the hair because he didn't want to sell out.
Teams, and that he held 2 jobs while in school. He's an A student, said Andrew Anthony. Does he have plans to go to college? Yes, sir.
And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to.
What was on his, never mind.
This is a tragedy all the way around for both families.
Anthony, who told Frisco
and like I said, guys, I am going to go over that press conference in its entirety here very shortly.
Police, he stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a track meet in self-defense after an altercation, sat in a jail jumpsuit and shackles, while prosecutors challenged how the father could not afford the 10% needed for $1 million bond, with an online donation fund that's up to $400,000 and growing. With access to over $400,000, why haven't you bonded him out yet? Asked the prosecutor. We don't have access to that money, replied the father.
There it is. They don't have access to the money. That's the answer right there. They don't have access to the money yet.
Father.
It's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this. So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads.
And prosecutors revealed today that Carmelo Anthony was involved in an assault-type altercation at his school on February 4th.
He was involved in an assault-like altercation back in his school on February the 4th. Oh, well, I'm sorry. What happened to that narrative that he's an A student and holds down 2 jobs and this and that and the third? Now Now we're learning that he was involved. He was involved in an assault-like altercation. So this is nothing new for Carmelo Anthony. See, that's what niggas. That's the story niggas are trying to spin here. Never been in trouble in his life. Was an A student. Blah 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 blah. Even if all of that were true, it doesn't matter. The kid is still guilty of murder. That's all there is to it.
That was handled internally by the school district. Other than that, he has an unblemished record, which is probably...
Other than that, he has an unblemished record. Do you see the narrative is already starting? Other than the fact that he was in another altercation less than a month ago or so. Other than that, he has an unblemished record. No, sorry.
Probably one of the reasons why the judge agreed to lower his bond. Live in McKinney, J.D. Miles, CBS News, Texas.
Ay. This dude has a hat that says stop self-snitching. Okay. All right. Looks like somebody else has pulled up. Oh, no, thought somebody else had pulled up. All right. Felon Tavius says FBA niggas say he the Pope. Yep. Says it's the playbook. It's always the same. D-Wee says a school fight doesn't make you a criminal. No, D-Wees, a school fight doesn't make you a criminal, but it does show the proclivities of violent behavior. Like, see, this is what niggas do. Because guess what? See, here's the thing. D-Wee says a school fight doesn't make you a criminal. What? How about this, D-Wees? Let's say that it comes out that Austin Metcalf was a bully at school. What would you say then? Oh, he's a bully at school. So Carmelo was justified in his actions. See, this is what the other side does. Anytime damning evidence comes out about Carmelo Anthony, they make excuses for it, or they try to somehow try to make it not as serious as it is. Well, a school fight doesn't make you a criminal. No, it doesn't make you a criminal, but it certainly doesn't look good in criminal court. Nice try there, D-Wees. Nice try. Cleotis McEwen says this is a tough situation all around. Not really. This is not a tough situation. Wait a minute. This is not a tough situation. This is an open and shut case. This is an easy case. This kid is guilty. This kid is guilty of first-degree murder. He's guilty of murder in the first degree. Whether he goes to prison or not for it remains to be seen, but this kid is 1,000% guilty. 1,000% guilty. Straight up. Okay, this is another interesting video. That I'm pulling up. And this is fact or follow-up. And this guy apparently is... this is from Fox 26 Houston. This guy apparently says he's making a case for Carmelo. Let's take a look at that.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. We're continuing our coverage on a deadly stabbing case out of Frisco, Texas. The case has made national headlines and stirred up...
Wait a minute, hang on, y'all. Sorry about that, guys.
Racial division.
All right, I see Phoenix Light Games in the chat. Give me 5 minutes, PLG, and I'll be right with you.
Around the relationship between the victim and the suspect. My next guest has tonight's update.
And joining us on The Factor Uncensored, we have with us former prosecutor and criminal defense attorney Bayoji Akingbula. And what we're seeing now is a reduction in the bond of Carmelo Anthony and the killing of Austin Metcalf in a community just north of Houston. And it's been a major controversy. People have taken sides.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to come right to you, PLG, because people are starting to fill it up. All right, PLG, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, Donovan. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good. So what are your thoughts on Carmelo Anthony getting his bond reduced from $1 million to $250,000?
I heard about this. I heard about this yesterday. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Like It's like here's the effects are already starting to play. The narrative is already starting. Like the bond being lowered by what, at least $800,000 right now is it's like it's already starting. And here's the thing, you can already see what people are leading into. Like, I don't know what this guy got. He was just talking when you were watching it. He said, like, other than that, he was a good student. He was a straight A student or something like that. he never hurt anybody or anything like that. They're trying to make this they're trying to make Carmelo Anthony as if as if this is like a once in a life. Well, can you still hear me, or are you just busy right?
Yep, I'm good. I can still hear you.
They're trying to make this sound like Carmelo. This was just a once in a lifetime thing. Like this just happened out of nowhere. Like he can't be completely to blame for his actions. But here's the thing. It's already been reported in the past that he's had other altercations with other people. So there's a trend. There's a plausible trend of violent behavior. But they're scooping that under the rug because if they don't systematically illustrate trends of violent behavior with Carmelo Anthony, they do realize that makes him look bad and that he's automatically guilty for his thing. So if somebody has a trend of violent behavior, what do you think is going to happen if he puts himself in a compromising position, like what he did with Austin? Like, it's just ridiculous. Any more questions or?
No, I guess look, I think when I started talking about this, I didn't want to come off as, being emotional. I can't believe he's been released, but it's hard not to be because again, this kid has been accused of murder. Okay? He brought a knife to school, which was illegal in and of itself. He put himself in a precarious position. Meanwhile, niggas are they're trying to come up with every excuse under the sun as to why this was justified. And the point that I made was that this is a very, very bad precedent because if something like this were to happen again and the races were the same, people are going to expect, and there is a thing called case law, okay? And case law, a lot of judges will go by case law. They'll use case law. What this essentially does, PLG, is if there's another case like this, they can tell the judge, down in Frisco, Texas, Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf to death, and his bond was only $250,000. And so what this really means is that if you have access to $25,000, you can stab a kid and get to go home and sit at home until your trial.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I just thought of it when you were just giving me your explanation and everything like that. All this is going to do you know what? It's so funny how the nigga community it's so funny how similar that they are to how modern women operate nowadays. It's so funny.
Absolutely.
It's like it's really funny. All this it's similar with women. If we keep letting women get away with displaying bad and deplorable behavior and they're not punished for their actions, what are they going to do? They're going to keep doing it. And all this Carmelo Anthony thing, people are trying to already spin the narrative, get his bond being reduced. All this is telling niggas, wow, so this guy did a deplorable. And here's the thing, niggas are a lot of things. But here's the thing, they know they're not. Here's the thing, they're stupid, but they're not this stupid. They understand Carmelo is. He's guilty. They know that he put himself in that position on purpose. Absolutely. They know that everything that he did was on him. But what the nigga community is going to do? They're going to use this situation to justify doing bad stuff in the future. Oh, Carmelo Anthony got off on a $250,000 bond. Yep. Oh shit! So I have more leeway to do whatever the fuck I want.
There you go.
And get away with it.
There you go, man.
All this is going to do is just create a lot more problems in the black community. A lot of black people, not black people, a lot of niggas are going to see this. And here's the thing, if Carmelo Anthony, I don't know, for some reason is found not guilty or anything like that, holy crap, the floodgates are going to open. The
floodgates are going to open one way or the other, because if Carmelo Anthony is convicted, dude, who knows what the hell is going to happen in Frisco, Texas. And listen, man, we can sit here and say, well, I don't think that'll happen. Really? Ask the residents of Los Angeles after the Rodney King thing. Ask the residents of Los Angeles after the OJ case. Ask the residents of Minneapolis after the George Floyd thing. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, the whole George Floyd thing is And this is what makes niggas so fucking deplorable. All they're doing is just using these situations to their advantage. Oh, I can't breathe. Why are you following me? What did I do wrong or anything like that? You know what the fuck you did wrong. It's like oh my god, like you're using an unfortunate situation to justify your bad behavior. And here's the thing, the George Floyd thing. And here's the thing, this is actually something I came up with, like for the last week and everything like that, and I figured it out. Here's the thing, the George Floyd situation. And here's the thing, I'm going to be completely objective about this. And Donovan, I'm just saying, here's the thing, I'm going to be completely objective. I'm going to be clean with my language. But if you get a video, I do apologize. That is not my intention.
Okay, well, let's keep it clean, please.
I am going to keep it as clean as possible.
All right.
George Floyd, even though what happened to him was a tragedy, George Floyd was a loser.
Yeah.
He was.
Yes.
He was a loser. He was a loser, man. Drug addict, already had problems with the law in the past numerous times and everything like that, and he overdosed on fentanyl.
Yep.
But this is why niggas want to be canonized so much.
Yep.
Niggas. The reason why niggas want to be canonized so much is because here's the thing, all the stuff that we learned about George Floyd, all the stuff they did in the past, we didn't know about that until like after the whole thing happened. We didn't know about that until like after and everything like that. All people know that George Floyd was an honorable black man.
Yes.
He was killed by the police and everything like that. How could they do this to somebody like him? He was a saint. No, the fuck, he wasn't a saint, man. He was a loser. But here's the thing. The reason why niggas want to be canonized is because here's the thing. What happens when you're canonized like George Floyd? Almost all the stuff you did in the past is completely erased.
Yep, revisionist history.
Whatever is drugs, whatever is you do rob, whatever you do, whatever deplorable, like 90% of the time, all that shit is erased until somebody has common sense and starts resurfacing with facts. But that's why they want to erase all the stuff in the past and get their status up as quickly as possible. And what's the quickest way you can get that? What's the quickest way in the you can get your status up as quickly as possible? Put yourself in a compromising position with the police. Here's the thing: niggas don't intend to die. Niggas don't intend to die. Nobody wakes up and says, "You know what? I hope I die today." Nobody's gonna say. Right. Nobody's gonna say, "I want to die." Dying as a result of getting in a violent conversation with police. That's an unfortunate consequence. No, they don't want that. But what they do want is the exposure that they're getting, so that they can get their status up and somehow get out of the deplorable situation that they're in. Most niggas are losers. And they're just looking for a quick come up because, niggas are lazy. They don't want to work for anything in their life. They don't. They just like women, given everything without having to work for it.
There you go. And we're giving them a little privilege here. Somebody said in the chat, we're about to see the awakening of black privilege. All right, PLG, I've got other guys on the line, but thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take care, man.
All right, man. All right, let us go to, B. Turner. B. Turner, you are on live with Donovan. What's on your mind, brother?
What's going on, Mr. Sharp? God
What's
bless.
up, man?
I'm a big fan of yours. My first time calling in.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Well, first of all, I've been called every name in the book. Disagreement over the young man getting bond. I've been called every name in the book, despite the fact that I presented a lot of facts. Not so much to just persecute the young man, but just presenting facts because he blew up. And this case happened very close to home. Melo's from the north side of Baton Rouge, but he moved to Dallas a few years back. So this case hit kind of close to home. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So KARMELO, he's from a little section of Baton Rouge. I want to believe the Valley Park section. And then he moved to Frisco. More than likely, his parents, that part of Baton Rouge is known for being quite very inner city like. So his parents or his mama, they moved to Frisco in the guise of providing better opportunities for the young man, and that's awesome, right? But people have hit me a lot with the whole I don't have children, so I can't speak on this, and it's mainly been dudes,
Sure.
You would think it'd be more women, but it's more dudes hitting me with the comment, I don't have children, so I can't speak on the situation. I'm sure you could probably laugh at that too, because I don't think you would have kids or I would have kids that would bring a knife to school. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Of course not.
You know. But my question to you is this, Mr. Sharp, you know, because like I said, I mean, people are so vehement and people are so adamant the young man is innocent. But my question to you is this, I'm pretty familiar with Texas law, you know.
Okay.
How can what is his defense going to do about the fact that he had to break the law many, many times just up into the action of him STABing somebody? Like he broke so many laws. Like how is his defense going to prove that he broke the law and had a good reason to do so? If you don't mind explaining it to me.
Yeah, I really don't. There is no good explanation. And what appears to be happening is that the so-called the so-called black community, they're literally making shit up. Like, dude, I've heard them say that they bullied him and his brother attacked him. Austin Metcalf was like literally making shit up in order for this murderer to walk free. This is what niggas, I don't know how the prosecution is going to explain that away. This is why this is absolutely an open and shut case. People are literally making stuff up to try to make a case for this kid. It is unbelievable and it is fucking pathetic.
Right. And they keep mentioning he's not a gangster, which, I mean, that word gets thrown around enough anyway.
Listen, he's not a gangster. He's not, but guess what? He's still guilty. He's still guilty of murder.
And I'm gonna tell you like this, based on his background, I'd agree too. It sounds like it sounds like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air situation where this kid might be from, like I mentioned, he's from a little section of Baton Rouge called Valley Park. If you're from Louisiana, if you're from Baton Rouge, you know Valley Park is what you would call a hood. Okay. He might be from there. I didn't find nothing about him stabbing nobody, STABing, and it kind of sounds like to me, this kid might have brought a certain mentality to the suburbs, and he found out the hard way he's really not that street, because why would you need to bring a weapon to a school? And if you're familiar with Frisco, it's not a perfect area, but it's a
dude, you ain't bringing weapons to school.
Suburb.
Yeah.
It's a classical. It's not, and it all. And here's the thing I gotta ask you, and I'm not gonna be long, Mr. Sharp. I'm not saying that nobody else is gonna say, but my question to all African Americans, as a black man who I'm a working man, I went to college and all this stuff. I was in the military, so my understanding of black culture is, as a black man, is pretty intimate. Okay. My question is this though. The Dallas Metroplex is enormous, if you're familiar with it. It is huge. It is the size of maybe my state and a couple other states combined, right? It is a huge place.
Okay.
There are 5 massive black suburbs just up the street from Frisco. Cedar Hill, DeSoto, Duncanville, South Oak Cliff, Lancaster. 5 massive black suburbs just up the street. Wow. If being around white people causes this much of a friction, why couldn't Carmelo and his family move there? How come if white people are this racist, and I'm not saying they're not, how come they had to move to the white suburb instead of moving to a black suburb?
There's no explanation. Listen, that's a very good question, BT. That's a very good question. And the answer is that there is no answer. This is why this kid is absolutely guilty. People keep coming out and saying, we don't have all the facts. We don't have all the facts. We don't need all the facts. We have enough of the facts. Okay. And anyone who says we need all the facts, all they're doing is looking for a reason to justify this kid's actions. We will never, ever know. We're never going to know what exactly happened that day. But according to police and witness accounts, Mr. Metcalf's brother, etc., we know enough. So no, we may not know all the facts, but we know enough facts to know that this kid absolutely, I don't care if you call him a kid, a child, whatever the case may be, he deserves to be put in prison for what he's done. I'll give you the last word.
Well, I ain't gonna be on, and I'm not gonna say nothing that any other intelligent brother not gonna say, but I'm gonna say this, big fan. I've been a fan of your show since you really came on YouTube a few years ago, man. So
cool, thank you.
Never had a chance to call in. You've got a bit of influence over me, Mr. Sharp. I ain't gonna lie to you. You got a bit of influence over me. So I respect game. I'm a man who, I believe game is important. Game is everything. So my advice to others is not just look at the facts, but kind of take the emotions out of it, man. Like all that. What if that was your kid? I want my kid to be held accountable. And to me, it looked like Carmelo been on a knife fight a little better than he is right now.
Yep.
Based on where he's about to go. But
Absolutely.
I'm gonna catch y'all later. God bless.
BT Turner, checking in. Thanks for chiming in. Appreciate that very much. Yeah, listen, he asks a lot. He asks a lot of valid questions that there just are not good answers for. They're just not good answers for. All right, let's bring up Jay Blaze. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Oh, I guess Blaze is frozen in animation. Okay, we'll let Jay Blaze get his situation worked out. Let's continue to react to this factor follow-up. Carmelo Anthony released on $250,000 bond. Guys, we are just getting started. If you have anything to say, if you have questions, comments, whatever the case may be, hashtag pull up. The link is pinned in the chat. Firth7 on the Rumble side says, I got kicked out of a stream yesterday for questioning/asking for sources after the host and caller said he was jumped. After being called a tethersoid, whatever that means. Yeah, that's them. That is them looking for, that is them looking for a reason to justify his actions. Okay. We got Janik L'Italian. Janik, dude, I haven't seen or heard from you in a while. What's going on, brother?
Mr. Sharp, it's always a pleasure. Actually,
first of all, what time is it? What time is it where you are? Because it's got to be
in Thailand right now. Hang on, Eastern time. It says 3 p.m. So it's 2 a.m. right here.
Wow, 2 a.m. Well, thank you for being up early with us. What are your thoughts on this whole? What are your thoughts on the whole situation? I've seen you've commented in the chats. Just what is your 35,000-foot view of this whole situation?
Well, I want to look at it, believe it or not, and I want to actually chime into some stuff you said at the last podcast that you spoke about this. Okay. I want to chime in on the side of the knife. Okay. And why am I saying this? Sorry. I actually trained and taught martial arts in Hong Kong for almost 11 years. Of course, thanks to the beer bug, that went south.
Okay.
But in my training, and I've done training in the States, I've done training in Russia, in Australia, in Hong Kong. I've taught in most of Southeast Asia. I've never actually had to deal with a knife in real life. But what I want to do is I want to share the knowledge that's been given to me, which is better, I think, to have and not need than
to need and not have. Right.
Exactly. And again, I mean, you can take this psychology and everything and compare it to the case, but you've got generally three main level of knife users. Okay. You're going to have the person who's scared, who's got a knife, and who's going to basically pull out the knife to keep away.
Okay.
You know, like he's going to be like, hey, don't fuck around. I've got a knife, or don't.
I've got a knife and I'm not. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but he's just kind of scared. So reacting from fear that way. Okay. The other knife user that you have, the second category, is probably one that you'll never really meet, is the professional person with the knife.
Okay.
In other words, if you're dealing with that type of person, think of shanking in prison.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
It's quick. It's fast. You don't see it. It feels like somebody bumped into you. All of a sudden, wherever that knife went in gets hot. You feel wet, and all of a sudden, you don't feel anything.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. The third type, which I would probably put the present case in, is what I call gone too far. Think about it this way, okay? You've got somebody on crack, on fentanyl, on whatever, who wants to get high. He's gonna want to fucking hold you to it at knife point, and he doesn't give a shit because he's gone that far in his head.
Gotcha.
And that's the key phrase. I wouldn't, my worst enemy out there, I wouldn't stab him with a knife.
Okay.
I think of the person you hate the most. We can think of certain names. You wouldn't,
of course,
stab him with a knife if you had the opportunity.
No.
So think about how far you have to be back here to actually want to take a knife and stick it in another human being.
Yeah, man.
And remember what you mentioned about the rib cage.
Yes. Yes, the breastplate. Yeah, the rib cage. Right. Gotcha.
Right. Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Apocalypto?
No, I have not, actually. I have not.
Okay. So Apocalypto is basically Aztec, Mayas, pre-Columbian,
Okay.
and they have the sacrifice scene where they split the guy's chest with an obsidian knife to pull the heart out to offer it to the sun. Oh, I should do it with my light here. There.
Oh, wow. Good Lord, man.
Yeah. You know. So again, it brings back the idea: how far do you have to be to stick a blade in somebody? And I'm gonna wrap it up here. Okay, I'll share you a video in the and you're a Philadelphia Flyers fan too, so it's gonna hit home.
Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too
Nah,
loud.
look. This is Clint Malarchuk. This is like back in the 80s.
Okay.
And what happens is there was a pileup in front of his hockey goal.
Okay.
And somebody went over him, but his skate cut him in the jugular.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and he doesn't. He moves the goalposts, but he paints them too. So this is always the picture I show people who play around too much with knives and don't take it seriously. This is not even a knife, and look what it did. Think of the Boston Marathon, pressure cookers with bolts, the human body with metal. But anyway, that's what I wanted to say. Like I said, I wanted to chime in from the side of the knife, and I'm pretty much of the same opinion as you that this is an open shut case.
Yep.
But based on you could switch anybody of any color holding the knife, they would have that same kind of human behavior.
There you go.
So I don't know. Sticking a knife into anything else but a steak is not in my to-do list than any other day. So that's what I'm saying.
Janik, thank you very, very much for your insight. I appreciate you chiming in, man.
But a pleasure, sir.
Absolutely. Yeah, listen, I had never thought of it that way. I've got Jay Blaze. Let me get to you in just a second here. Yeah, I like how I really do like how Janik broke down, the three kinds of knife users. And at this point, Carmelo Anthony was in that, sort of like, I just don't know how you could stick a knife into another person. I really, really don't. Robert Anderson says all the defense has to prove is reasonable doubt. Yeah, there is no reasonable doubt. Carmelo Anthony is absolutely guilty beyond all reasonable doubt. Whether or not he's actually convicted remains to be seen. And with that, I am going to bring in Jay Blaze. Jay Blaze, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, so this just shows you we're such in a feminized society where if you look at Dubai, dude, Dubai has no crime. Like, you can leave your wallet, cell phone, everything out on your machine, and no one will touch it because their laws are so severe on theft. Yep. And if we don't get back to that, like it sounds terrible to females and stuff. Hey, fuck your feelings. We have laws on the books, and it creates a high trust society because people are like, dude, if I break these laws, my ass is going to jail. And we got to make these examples because have you heard about Johnny Somali?
Yeah.
You've heard about Johnny Somali?
Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm intimately familiar with him because of MLD. Yeah.
Yeah, so he went to Japan and Korea, and he was a nuisance streamer. And he was such a nuisance streamer. These Asian countries are now changing their laws on the books because you had another nuisance streamer that went to the Philippines. He's going to be rotting in a Filipino jail for the next 2 to 3 years until he gets a trial. He might even get 5 years.
Oh, my God.
But before Johnny Somali, he probably would have just got deported.
Right, exactly.
So,
but of course, they push it too far, and now he's gonna lose 7 years of his life, if at least 7 years of his life, and for what?
Exactly. But but people will say, "Oh, it's just one case." Dude, it took one Johnny Somali to change the books and make people say, "No, we're done with this. We're done with it." So it takes just one, and so you just gotta say to people, "Hey, screw your feelings. These laws are on the books. We gotta punish them to the fullest extent of the law," because that keeps the people that would have probably been in betweeners, that wouldn't have done any crime, to say, no, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I'm gonna not do any of this crime, and it creates a high trust society. And just like the illegals coming over, they see all the free handouts we're giving people, and we got to stop that too. So it all comes into the wash, and it takes a village to keep people accountable, because you can't have what's happening in California where they're just saying, "Oh, here's all the syringes and all the drugs you want."
Oh my God!
That just leads to chaos.
Right.
And
right.
I hope he's punished to the fullest extent of the law, and I would hope that
so let me
in
ask
the
you
reverse
this.
too.
Listen, so if he is, so what kind of, so based on this, what you just said was 100% accurate about guys like Johnny Somali and other nuisance streamers. All it takes is one idiot, one knucklehead to change the laws of an entire nation. What laws, if any, do you think will be affected, added, subtracted, changed because of this, if anything at all? I mean, are we thinking metal detectors at all schools? Like, what are we doing?
We could come to that. I wish that wasn't the case, but you might have just the victim Olympics happen in that area. So you might have them take back laws that should be there. So you'd hate to see that, but you might have less laws to say, oh, we should be more forgiving, because we now live in a feminist society. Because look at what Andrew Wilson was arguing yesterday, and dude, we got to get back to our masculine roots and say no. We gotta keep laws in the books.
We need to be tough on crime. We need to be tough on crime.
Exactly,
because this is ridiculous.
And same for women, because this is what's happened to women, because they're just saying, oh, I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want, and we're seeing the inverse to society when you have women lead it.
Unbelievable. Jay Blaze, thanks for chiming in, man. I appreciate it.
Later.
All right, Jay Blaze chiming in. He obviously is a member of the Chop Block Sports Talk podcast. Very, very good insight. And again, Praetorian Guard is in the house. Says the stand your ground law basically allows you to defend yourself. You cannot be present unlawfully or in the commission of a crime. Yeah, Praetorian Guard knows exactly what he's talking about. Oh, you've been sick. That's where you've been. Okay. Goalie Blanchard says the difference here is U.S. citizens have the right to bear arms. A lot of people would get hurt if the laws were harsher here. Very good. Truck Driver says, great content, bro. Appreciate that. King Life says, Carmelo knew what he was doing. Dude, to stab somebody in the heart, man, that really does, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how, I don't know, man. I don't know. Jara's Piff Hunter says premeditated. He had the ability to leave, chose not to, and even warned them before he did. Apparently premeditated, he done. Dude, I agree. All right, let's continue with this reaction of this Factor follow-up. Carmelo Anthony released on $2,000 bond, the Isaiah Factor uncensored. Let's go.
As black versus white, just strange and very sad that it has come down to this. But there was a reduction in his bond, Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old black kid accused of killing the 17-year-old white kid. Tell us what the bond has gone from and to, and your thoughts about it.
Yeah, the bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000, and given the circumstances of that case, it's definitely an appropriate reduction for an individual as young as Mr. Anthony is.
So this guy is saying that this was an appropriate reduction. Here's his reason.
17. My understanding is no substantial or, if any, prior criminal history. He certainly has significant ties to the community. That being said, he doesn't show himself to be a flight risk. He should be able to make his court appearances. On top of that, they have to demonstrate, given the lack of history, that he's not going to be a continuing harm to the community. Those are all of the factors that the court is to consider. What it shouldn't consider or presume is his guilt. And so when you look at a bond amount as high as $1 million, it almost presumes him to be guilty. And certainly,
see, there we go. See, now that's not right. The bond amount is commiserate with the person's flight risk, their criminal record, the flight risk, criminal record, and danger to society. Okay? Flight risk, criminal record, danger to society, and their crime. So for this man to say, well, he's 17 years old, he's never been in trouble before, he's not a flight risk, so the $1 million bond almost presumes his guilt. No, the $1 million bond is commiserate with the crime he is accused of. Okay? I have never, ever heard of somebody being charged with first-degree murder and being released on a $250,000 bond. I have never heard of that. I'm sure it's happened before. But that, to me, is unjust. I'm sorry. Praetorian Guard says, yeah, content creator who I love listening to in the Red Pill space broke my heart and is blindly backing this kid. Yeah, you might be talking about Minister Jap. I hope... I'm going to have to talk with Jap because that's crazy work.
We've heard through various outlets that there is a self-defense claim that's being raised, and he's entitled to raise that defense. And so while he's raising that defense, the court needs to give him an opportunity to be able to bond out, which will make it a lot more better for him in terms of preparing for his upcoming trial.
No, we know.
No, him bonding out doesn't make it a lot better for him. It makes it a lot better for him in his life. It doesn't make it a lot better for him relative to getting ready for the trial. Okay? He's going to get ready for the trial regardless. That's all there is to it. So yeah, basically he's saying, well, we should have let the kid out because it's just better for him. No, I'm sorry. And it's funny, the more I'm listening to you guys, the more I'm taking in, the more I'm starting to come back to your side. The more I'm thinking to myself, this kid stabbed another human to death, stabbed him in the heart, and now he is sitting at home.
Well, there has been a racial divide in this case with the suspect being black, the victim being white. Was there a rush to judgment when this bond was initially set at $1 million? Well,
see, here comes the rush to judgment. And again, bonds are not supposed to be viewed as a rush to judgment. The bond is to make sure that they show up to court. So again, we have another black person saying, well, this is a presumption of guilt.
Did the public play a role in the judge deciding that or the magistrate deciding that?
Absolutely, of course.
Well, I certainly never want to get into the mind of a judge.
Do you hear that? I certainly don't want to get into the mind of a judge. So he didn't answer the question directly. Okay? Isaiah asked this dude straight up, do you think that public pressure led to this judge, Angela What's-Her-Face, reducing this bond? He knows the answer is yes. So what he is doing is he is avoiding answering the question by saying, well, I don't want to get into mind reading. No, he knows the answer is yes. That's why he didn't answer the question.
Different judges have different criteria in terms of how they would like to establish a bond amount. It is a murder case, and we do typically see for murder cases, bonds tend to be substantially higher compared to other alleged crimes.
Yes, of course, because murder is one of the worst crimes you can commit.
And it's also one that garnered a lot of public media attention. And so,
yeah, T-Law says, okay, let's reset here. Did these folks forget he intentionally killed someone? Apparently they have.
Yep.
They've forgotten.
Certainly, judges who, in Texas anyways, have to be elected. Sometimes that is in the back of their mind, the media attention they want to make sure.
Oh, looks like the Dennis Moore has lost his NICA card. He says, we are taking murder. We are talking murder. What if he kills someone else? Then he says, so the moral is kill someone, get free publicity and mad cash in your account, and maybe you get a name in a rap verse. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is the comment of the day. That is the comment of the day. So the moral is kill someone, get free publicity and mad cash in your account, and maybe you get your name in a rap verse. Guys, this is why this is a dangerous precedent. This kid committed a crime on a school campus, and they have raised $400,000 for this kid. If his defense doesn't come to $400,000, he's getting money for that. Dude, this is incredible.
Make sure that they're not looking, especially in a conservative state such as Texas, that they're not looking, quote unquote, soft on crime. So sometimes that does influence a judge's decision to.
Yeah, the answer is yes. It influenced her reducing the bond.
Increase the bond amount, although it shouldn't. But if we were to be.
It shouldn't, but it did.
Frank, that human element, that political element does certainly play a factor in these decisions.
Will this be a tough trial on both the criminal defense side and the prosecution side because the community is so torn about it, the country is torn about it, and because there's that racial element? Is that a tough case to handle?
Yeah, I believe
it shouldn't be a tough case to handle for the prosecution because the prosecution has more than enough to get a conviction from a jury. The reason why he's asking this is because, once again, he's asking for emotions to be coming into play. Praetorian Guard says they will argue no real period of deliberation. Yes, he brought a knife, but deliberation means pre-planning. Plus, he is a juvenile. I'm just being honest how these cases work. No, I got you.
So
yeah, Praetorian Guard says apparently they have footage. Yes, there is another video that we are going to react to where someone says, yes, we do have a video of the incident.
I've tried cases where there have been, for once, 2 different cases I can think of where someone shot an unarmed individual and we claimed self-defense and we did it successfully. There's certainly room for a self-defense claim to be made, even when the individual, the aggressor.
Yeah, he's talking literally about George Floyd. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what he said? Listen to this.
Defense, and we did it successfully. There's certainly room.
Listen to this.
Yeah, I believe so. I've tried cases where there have been, for once, 2 different cases I can think of where someone shot an unarmed individual and we claimed self-defense and we did it successfully. There's certainly room.
Now let me not George Floyd, George Zimmerman. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. So he's tried cases where, somebody got shot unarmed. His client was the guy with the gun, and he got them off. That does not mean that this was self-defense, guys.
For a self-defense claim to be made, even when the individual, the aggressor, is unarmed. That being said, as you mentioned, there are some racial tension that comes from this case. And as a defense attorney, you want to be mindful of that. You want to be mindful of what type of juror would be unfair. And so I think on both sides, there's going to be a lot of what's called strike for cause in the jury pool. When you say you're striking a juror member for cause, you're saying that jury member cannot be fair or impartial. And so those jurors are removed. And
no, that juror cannot be fair or impartial. Translation, that juror wants to convict our client. That's what that means.
And what's left are the ones that are typically going to be left on your jury pool. Mr. Carmelo Anthony is an African-American young male. And so if I'm his defense attorney, I'm certainly interested in making sure that he's tried by his peers of having other African-Americans on that jury pool of those 12, because we may not get a not guilty, but I can at least hope for a hung juror that if I can get some people that think like my client, that can see from my client's perspective.
That think from my client and can see from my client's perspective. Gentlemen, this is an attorney talking. This is a lawyer talking. This black man, this lawyer, is sitting here saying, hopefully, we can get people on the jury who think like Carmelo Anthony that can possibly get him off. He's not talking about fairness. He's not talking about justice being served. No, he's like, listen, let's get some niggas on the jury so we can get a hung jury and get him off. This man is not interested in justice. Okay, this man is interested in an acquittal. Incredible. This man is a lawyer. Unbelievable.
That juror can stand tall in that deliberation room and stick to a not guilty vote.
And stick to a not guilty vote. Unbelievable.
And of course, the 17-year-old has been given the opportunity to be placed on house arrest instead of being locked up as well. Attorney Bayoji Akingwala, criminal defense attorney in Houston, we appreciate your time here on The Factor Uncensored tonight. Thank you, sir.
Safety even for the judge.
Everybody is doing this knee-jerk bullshit where,
Stop. I don't need to hear all that. Praetorian Guard says, but there's a thing called safety factors in self-defense. Zimmerman was way smaller than Trayvon. A smaller female could argue at 6'6", 300 pounds. Man is a deadly threat. I actually thought that Zimmerman, maybe I saw Zimmerman after he gained weight. Like he got real fat. The Dennis Moore says, does this guy talk? This guy talks way too fast. Yeah, I sped up the video to keep it away from. I sped up the video to keep away from, to keep within copyright laws. Yeah. Trey Ball says, I think they should have went with a white defense attorney. I think they should have too. Oh, no. They did go with a white defense attorney, and we are going to. So we've got a couple of other videos to react to. Number one. Number two. I am going to react. I'm also going to react to both the defense attorney's press conference and the prosecuting attorney's press conference. This is a short 40-second video. Let me just make sure that this is.
I want to bring you some breaking news here at 4:30 in case you're just now joining us. Carmelo Anthony, the teenage suspect in that deadly Frisco stabbing at the track meet, just walked out of the Collin County Jail minutes ago. Today, a Collin County judge reduced the bond for the 17-year-old from $1 million down to $250,000. Anthony will have to wear an ankle monitor from here on. He'll be on supervised house arrest and can only leave the house with the approval from the court. He has to stay off social media as well, and he cannot contact the victim's family. Wanted to bring you that video, though. We're going to have a live report with the very latest coming up in just a little bit at 5 o'clock with W.
All right, very good. Let me make sure that there are a couple of other. Okay. All right. So it looks like, let's also, okay. So Judge Angela Tucker, this is the judge. That's the judge that reduced, that reduced his bond. So I'm going to play a video, of Judge Angela Tucker sort of explaining, explaining why she reduced the bond. Here we go.
I didn't see a female in my hometown that was an attorney until I was in law school, and went back to intern, and certainly not a person of color. And so now when we can have, summer interns come up and they are every race, creed, color, gender, but they can see someone that looks like them on the bench, I think that is so beneficial because it's representation. And when they look at me, young kids, law students, whoever it is, I want them.
I apologize. I thought I was told that was her talking about her rationale for letting him off. That, of course, is Lily Gaddis. Lily Gaddis doing what she does. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to react. I'm going to play this in its entirety. This is the press conference. This is Carmelo Anthony's attorney, and I've already forgotten his name, Mike Howard. This is Mike Howard speaking about the situation, and away we go.
Defense is a protection that applies to each and every. There are two sides to every story, and Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team. He is the captain of his football team. And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to. This is cute. A tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out. Thank you.
Mike, you took umbrage with the state's assessment that this was simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and we've only heard one side.
Oh, wow. Robert Anderson says, I have a strange feeling that this is just going to encourage more incidents like this. Absolutely. Honest Ed says, if Carmelo doesn't get convicted, 100 Carmelos will follow. I'm trying to tell you. I agree 100%. Alex B says, if it's a black jury, he's going to walk free from the majority of sentiment I've seen from the black community. Another reason why this stream is important to remind the white public that sensible black people exist. Absolutely.
In any criminal case, the police investigate and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that we keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation.
Is your client going to be able to make bond and get out today?
I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go.
I anticipate that he'll be able to make bond. I have no idea how he could have possibly known that.
Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out, and then there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is, why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into. This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question, and it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice, that let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Carmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
How has he...
Dee says, minors can carry knives in Texas. That's less than 5.5 inches. Not a crime. Yes, Dee not a crime, my friend, but it is a crime to bring a knife to school. Dude, Dee you're going to lose this argument, my friend. Like, Carmelo Anthony is 272% guilty. I'm sorry. Like, listen, man, you can try and justify this all you want to. Like, this kid is guilty.
On the reduction of this bond, you feel it's fair?
I feel it's fair.
Of course he feels it's fair.
Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think, rightly imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure both Carmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
What was Carmelo's reaction today? He didn't seem very talkative toward you, and how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager, and is he on suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Carmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. I think we have to all remember Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never been in any sort of trouble before.
See? Oh, never mind.
If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process, and I can't even imagine what was going through his head, just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So this is something that is new to all of them and incredibly trying.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? What is your experience? You had to be really good.
I can't speak as to why I was selected.
I wonder why he was selected.
It's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in any case.
Okay. Just how unsafe does this family feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine the press coverage on this case has been immense, and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction one way or the other has been intense. And threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not good for the peace and safety of our community. So, I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down, that the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that, everyone does, but at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully for both sides. Okay, thank you guys.
So let things.
All right, so I let it play and didn't interrupt him. Now I'm going to react to it. Here we go.
To say if she can do it.
Wait a minute. Sorry about that.
Self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us.
Yes, self-defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us, but listen to what he says.
There are two sides to every story.
Yes, yeah. Listen, I get it. Self-defense is a protection for each and every one of us when your life is in danger, okay? When your life is in danger. Carmelo Anthony's life was never in danger. No matter what niggas tell you, Carmelo Anthony knew his life wasn't in danger. You want to know why? Because he taunted the kid. He said, touch me and see what happens. Okay? That wasn't, and again, what Janik talked about here in, knife person number one is, hey, I've got a knife and I'm not afraid to use it. You better stay away. No, Carmelo didn't tell him stay away. He said, touch me and see what happens. He was that, gentlemen, that was a warning. That was a warning, man. That's what Carmelo did. He said, yeah, touch me and watch what happens.
And Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student.
Kid and an excellent student. So now they're trying to infantilize him. He's a 17-year-old kid. He didn't know any better. He's a child. He's a juvenile, blah, 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 blah. This is what, dude, I'm going to tell you what, this is what the nigga community loves to do. The nigga community loves to do, dude, they do it with their own women. They love to infantilize themselves to remove accountability.
He's the captain of his track team.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Just because you're the captain of a track team doesn't mean you're not guilty, doesn't mean that you're not guilty of a crime. Sorry.
He's the captain of his football team.
Yeah.
And prior to this, what was on his mind was what college he was going to go to.
No, what was on his mind was, how do I hide this knife? How do I hide this knife? Guys, yeah, and you guys are saying in the chat, this is literally just filibustering, guys. He's trying to infantilize this kid, and he's not doing a very good job of it.
This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Rushing to judgment, trial by public perception and trial by media is not how we ensure justice is done. We are confident that after a full investigation, that the truth will come out.
Yeah, T-Law says all this shit doesn't apply at all. No, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Thank you.
Mike, you took umbrage with the state's assessment that this was simple and brutal. Why so?
Well, the fact of the matter is, like I said, there's two sides to every story, and we've only heard one side.
No, we've heard more than one side. We've heard more than one side.
In any criminal case, the police investigate, and the defense is always far behind that. And so it is a one-sided investigation to this point, and even that investigation is still ongoing. So to say that it happened this way or that way is just not accurate at this point. All of the facts are going to come out, and that's why our system of justice requires that.
Yeah, I think the defense knows very clearly that if all of the facts do come out, his client is cooked. Like, dude, Melo is cooked, y'all.
We keep our minds open and we let the facts come out as they are after a full investigation.
Is your client going to be able to make bond and get out today?
I anticipate that he will be able to make bond. I can't speak to how quickly that will go. Funds, in the funds that have been raised are not quick to come out. And then, there's obviously a process to the release process once bond is posted.
The big question that a lot of people have is, why was this young man armed on school property?
That's an understandable question, but it's not something that, frankly, we're prepared to even go into.
Yes. That is definitely something that you are not prepared to go into, because there is not a defense for a 17-year-old kid to bring a knife to a sporting event on campus. He's telling you right here, gentlemen, he's telling you, guys, we're not ready to go into that. The reason he's telling you they're not ready to go into that is because, well, it's true. They're not ready to go into that. He knows his client is cooked.
This is something that I know the police and the prosecution want to get it right and want to have a full and fair investigation, and so do we. So it would be irresponsible for me or them at this point to start saying, this is what happened, this is why, anything. So I understand that's a big question. It's going to be a big question.
Yes, it is going to be a big question, and it is going to be the reason your client is going to be convicted.
And it's something that we will find out, and we ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment and let both of these families have justice, that let both of these young men, the Metcalf family and the memory of who they've lost, but also Carmelo, have a fair and full justice process.
Yeah, Treyball says the taunt he made will sink him. Yeah, the taunt he made will sink him. The image of him holding up those two guns will sink him. The fact that he said, touch me and see what happens. The fact that he brought a knife to school in the first place. Oh boy.
Ultimately, your feeling on the reduction of this bond, you feel it's fair?
Yeah, I feel it's fair.
Of course he feels. That was a stupid question. Of course his attorney is going to say, hey, listen. Of course I think it's fair.
You know, bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's not supposed to punish. It's supposed to ensure that a person shows up to court, complies with all conditions, and it's supposed to keep the community safe. So this is a large and substantial bond, and the judge has, I think,
It is a large and substantial bond because the crime was large and substantial.
Imposed reasonable conditions that will ensure.
Melanie Barrio says, apologies, but I can't remember. Were there any witnesses? Yeah, there were a lot of witnesses. There were a lot of people in that tent.
Both Carmelo and the Anthony family's safety, but also the safety of the community.
What was Carmelo's reaction today? He didn't seem very talkative toward you. And how has jail, I guess, been so far for this teenager? And is he on suicide watch or anything like that?
I honestly can't speak to Carmelo's reaction because I was so focused on the hearing and what was going on and what the judge was saying. You know, I think we have to all remember Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid who's never
17-year-old kid
been in any sort of trouble before.
Who's never been in any sort of trouble, yet less than a month before he stabbed Austin Metcalf to death, he was involved in another altercation at school. So there we go.
If you can just put yourself in his shoes, this is a scary, bewildering process. And
yes, it is scary and bewildering. That's what happens when you commit a crime.
I can't even imagine what was going through his head, just as I'm sure I can't imagine what was going through the heads of the Metcalf family. So, you know, this is something that...
It's so funny how this lawyer is very good. This lawyer is very good at sort of playing both sides. Oh, listen, man. Anytime he mentions what the Anthony family is going through, he is always very quick. Always very, 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 very quick to say, well, yeah, yes. Plus the Metcalf family. Yeah, nice try.
That is new to all of them and incredibly trying.
So for people who want to know, why were you selected? I mean, what is your
This bitch is stupid as hell. Listen to this. Why were you selected?
experience? I mean, you had to be really good.
You had to be really good. That is not a journalist, okay? That is a porn star. That is a porn star who has glazed the penis of the defense attorney. I mean, you had to be really good. Yeah, the reason why they hired him, ma'am, is because he is white. That's why. The reason they hired him is because he's white. You guys ever seen that movie, A Time to Kill? Matthew McConaughey, Samuel L. Jackson, okay? Spoiler alert, okay? Samuel L. Jackson's daughter was raped by two men. I think she was like 9 years old. Two white boys, adult white boys, raped his daughter. Samuel L. Jackson comes to court. He hides in court, and when the two guys came for the arraignment, his character shot the other two to death. Shot those two men to death. And so now he's on trial for double murder. Well, he hires Matthew McConaughey because he's white. That's why he hired him. He hired Matthew McConaughey because he's white. That's the same reason why the Anthony family has hired this guy, because he is white. This white man is going to try to convince a white jury, a white man is going to try to convince a white jury that a black boy is innocent of committing murder. That's why he hired him. That's why, sorry about that. That's why he was hired, is because he's white, and everybody knows it. You must be really good. Like, what kind of question is that? Like, bitch, fuck out of here.
I think as to why I was selected, in any case, it's important to have an attorney that you connect with, that you feel has the right amount of experience and the right investment in the case. And I'm not speaking to anybody else. I just know that that's important in any case.
Okay. Just how unsafe does this
Good answer.
feel? You mentioned it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not going to speak for them at this point, but I think you can imagine the press coverage on this case has been immense. and the online and public reaction has been immense. And unfortunately, as is common in our culture, especially lately, the vitriol and the public reaction.
Yeah, you want to know why there's vitriol, counselor? You want to know why there's vitriol? Because people are sick of niggas, man. People are tired of niggas. We're sick and tired of fucking niggas, y'all. We're done. People don't want niggas nowhere. Okay? The world is getting tired of niggas. There are countless videos of countless resorts saying, "Hey, look, man, we don't like black people here. We don't want American black people here because they're rowdy, they don't tip, and they're out of fucking pocket." Myron said it best. Myron said it best. We don't have a race problem. We have a problem race. We don't have a race problem, gentlemen. We have a problem race. I see that somebody's pulled up. I'm going to get to you in just a second. That's exactly what it is. We are tired of niggas. That's why, pardon me, that's why every time niggas commit a crime, especially against a white person, and niggas come out and defend them, people are tired of it. People are done with it. That's what it is. Niggas have become a problem race.
Action, one way or the other, has been intense, and threats and talk of race war and all kinds of insanity.
The only group of people that are going to start a race war are niggas. It ain't gonna be white people.
Isn't good for, obviously, the Anthony family. It's not good for the Metcalf family. It's not.
It's not good for the Anthony family. Oh, it's not good for the Metcalf family. Come on, man.
The peace and safety of our community. So, I would ask, and I know both sides would ask, that the temperature on this be allowed to come down. That the media, you guys have a job to do, and I understand that everyone does. But at the same time, we just ask everyone in the public and everywhere to let this process play out fairly and fully.
It will.
For both sides. Okay, thank you guys.
So okay, so that was the defense attorney's press conference. Let me now go. Let's see. Somebody might have pulled up. All right, looks like we got Phantom 313 in the building. What's going on, Dad? What's going on, bro? How you doing, man? What's on your mind?
How you doing, big brother? Everything good on your end, man?
Doing good, man. Doing real good.
This is a sad situation. This kid got released on bond. He can go home to his family. Now the family on the other side have to bury their own child.
Yep. That is completely unfair. And listen, there are accounts. Obviously, Austin Metcalf's family, they were in the courtroom when she reduced the bond. Mother was crying uncontrollably. Of course. Her son's killer now gets to sleep in his own bed while one of her sons has to deal with the death of his twin brother, and the other son has to sleep with daisies. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What kind of world do we live in, whereas a person can walk free by murdering someone, and the family on the other end have to arrange funeral arrangements? I just don't get it, man. I really don't get it. I look at it like this: if you're man enough to pick up a weapon and you're man enough to use it, you're man enough to take the consequences.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. Listen, if you act like him, and it's funny, and I said this before. What the black community, the so-called black community, is trying to do is they are trying to infantilize him. They're trying to infantilize him. They're trying to be, well, he was just a boy. He's a child. No. Carmelo Anthony is not no child. Carmelo Anthony is a grown-ass motherfucking man who made a grown-ass motherfucking man decision, and he will be tried like a grown-ass motherfucking man.
Exactly. Once you put your hand on that weapon inside your house, you got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Once you decide to take that weapon outside the house,
that's it. There's no going back. You are a man. There are certain things, there are certain acts that human beings do that in that very moment, you grow up immediately. In that very moment, you grow up immediately.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I was just going to say, the minute Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf, that is the very moment that Carmelo Anthony became a man. And so now he is going to be held accountable like a man.
I have a question for you, because I have one question, maybe two questions to ask you. But
yeah, what you got?
The people that called in earlier, Phoenix Light Game, he nailed it. Yep. It's going to open up the floodgates where kids going to start bringing knives in or bringing a weapon in and maybe committing a crime and saying, well, he was a bully. And I totally agree. My question to you is that what are the school systems going to do about it? Are they going to end up, you think the schools are going to start, even colleges? You think they're going to start having metal detectors and heavy security in schools now where they can prevent that situation? Or
I don't think,
what do you
dude,
think will happen?
At this point, bro, I don't think I don't think they have a choice, man. I don't think that, dude, this happened in Frisco, Texas. This is white suburban America, an affluent area where there is no crime. There is, you heard the first guy. There is no ghetto in Frisco, okay? But the ghetto got brought to them because this kid brought a knife to school. Yeah, I don't think that high school, college, even middle school campuses have a choice, because people are watching this, and people are watching this. They're thinking to themselves, okay, if I have a problem with a white person, I can bring a weapon to school, use that weapon, right? I can use that weapon when the cops show up, say, hey, it was self-defense. Get almost $500,000 raised on some GoFundMe site, and I get to go home and sleep in my own bed, waiting for my trial, while the other family has to grieve the loss of their son. This is going to be this. Listen, there have already been dangerous precedents set in this case, and it started with the reduction of the bond.
And they reduced it $750,000. Now it's $250,000, and then it ended up being $25,000 with the 10%.
Yes, sir. That's it. And he got out. It didn't take him long.
And the money they couldn't get from the funds, they're gonna receive that money. They're winning. They're winning with the money. With the nigga community. Right. Big brother. This may be a little controversial, but when we talked last week, and you asked me about why do you think black folks act the way they act, or niggas act the way they act right now, and I said because of the 400 years of slavery.
Yeah,
I'm going to say this. That's definitely part of it.
Okay,
but they have a shackle. They have a shackle mindset.
Okay,
and with they shackle mindset, they still want to believe in reparation.
Yep,
through what their ancestries had been through, but if their ancestry was living right now, or see, maybe they may see what's going on right now, they'd be rolling over their graves like, we paved our way for you to live a free life, not to be in the life that we live in, the life that we lived back then. Like you said, being hoes, being whipped, being E-part, things like that.
Yep.
And now you have these niggas saying, I want reparation for what? You wasn't there 400, 500 years ago when they were struggling, and they picking cotton for 12 hours a day, 16 hours a day, eating molasses, being whipped, not having a education level, trying to escape from the South to go up north.
Yeah.
And that's how they live right now. They still want to live in that. They still want to live in a year. They want to live in that past time like they lived in it, and they didn't live in it. It's no different than, like I said, the slaves left, escaped the North to go up north, escape the South to go up north, or go out west, go out in the Midwest. There's no difference than these enslaved niggas out here nowadays that's stuck in a dark tunnel. They can see the light, to change their perspective and their life and their morality. But they rather, once they see that light, they rather stay in the darkness and move back.
It is a sad state of affairs, man. And honestly, man, like stuff like, dude, I'm telling you what, man, if Carmelo Anthony is acquitted, and I believe that I think he's probably going to be convicted, but I would not be surprised if he were acquitted. If this kid is acquitted, this is a dangerous precedent.
Well, he better thank his lucky stars that he's released. He better not post anything on the internet. He better not do any other crimes. He better just he needs to dress presentable and have a haircut, because he look like a nigga. Anybody who has an AK in his hand, throwing the middle and having a middle finger in a picture, that lets you know that's a nigga. There's no difference than like black folks. Like you're a black man, I'm a black man. It's like me moving to a neighborhood with white folks, right?
Right.
And then maybe they may prejudge you, but once they start to get to know you, you fit the community. And then you have niggas coming out the hood, moving to the same neighborhood you moved into, and they're not who you are. And the white folks or Hispanic folks or Asian folks like, oh man, now we got to categorize them. They moved in, and then now they're trying to move out, and now you bringing niggas in. Now the black folks trying to move out, and the niggas is taking over.
Yep. This is why they gentrify neighborhoods, man.
Yeah. And it's sad, man. I'm not gonna hold you up, man. I just want to speak my piece and thank you for allowing me to be on your platform, for me to have a voice. I mean, this young man, he will go to jail. It sucks. It sucks at the end that you have friends that you can talk to about the red pill situation about women, but when it comes to
Race
black folks
relations?
about when it comes to black folks about when you talk amongst black folks about our own people, they're afraid to touch it.
Absolutely.
And there's nothing wrong with you doing it, because what you're doing right now, a lot of people should actually be listening to you, Myron. But right now, I'm not on Myron's channel, Fresh and Fit. I'm on your channel and your platform. People need to actually start listening to what you have to say, because you're just a black man letting everybody know how the black community is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, listen, I'm trying to get as many people out the hood as possible, man, and that includes the hood in your mind. Thanks for chiming in, buddy. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Take care of yourself. Love you, brother.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Phantom313 chiming in. And so looks like we got the niggadar. We've got another nigga in the chat. We got another nigga in the chat. This nigga Sway Coreblocks U2 says her son is sleeping in the bed he made. See, niggas. See what niggas like Sway Coreblocks. That's the mentality that we're talking about. Sway is glad Austin Metcalf is dead. He's glad that Austin Metcalf is dead. Her son is sleeping in the bed he made. Austin Metcalf didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to die. And then, of course, Sway Coreblock says, keep your hands to yourself. This, again, is nigga culture. I agree. Keep your hands to yourself, okay? If you put hands on somebody, then they have the right to defend themselves commensurate with what you've done. If somebody pushes you, you have the right to beat the crap out of them. You do not have the right to stab them to death. Sorry. And Sway Coreblocks says, keep your hands to yourself. Guys, this is the way niggas think. The way niggas think is if somebody puts their hands on me, that gives me the right to end their life. And that's why we are in this situation. Sway Coreblocks is glad that Austin Metcalf is dead. That's why he said her son made the bed he laid in. Then I asked him, did he deserve to die? He says, nobody deserves to die. It could have been avoided if you keep your hands to yourself and mind your business. Yes. You want to know how else this could have been avoided? This could have been avoided if Carmelo Anthony had never if he had never brought a knife to school in the first place. Okay? That's the first way it could have been prevented. The second way it could have been avoided was that if Carmelo Anthony doesn't go into the opposing team's tent. So we can say, you can listen. What niggas are going to try and do is they're going to try and blame Austin Metcalf's death on himself. It's not Austin Metcalf's fault that he's dead. It's Carmelo Anthony's fault that he's dead on many, many different levels. And this is exactly, and this is exactly why he will be convicted. That's exactly what it says. Jesus says, Donovan, go to Texas and walk up to people and put your hands on people and see what happens, buddy. I'm not going to do that in any state. Why would I do that? Jesus saves. Like, why would I do that? And see what happens, buddy? Like, what the hell is wrong with you people, man? Oh, okay. Well, hey, look. All right, you win the argument. That was stupid. That was low IQ. FAFO, I have no idea what that means. I don't speak millennial ease. Sway Coreblocks, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to explain it to me. Melanie Barrios says, wait, are people in the chat really saying it's Austin's fault he died? He was murdered, not killed. There's a difference. Yes, Melanie. That's exactly right. Niggas in the so-called black community are quite literally telling us that it's Austin Metcalf's fault that he is dead. If Austin Metcalf had kept his hands to himself, he would have been alive today. Wrong. If Carmelo Anthony had never brought the knife to school, Austin Metcalf would be alive today. If Carmelo Anthony had never gone to the opponent's tent when he clearly knew he was not welcome there, Austin Metcalf would be alive today. So there you go. Like, listen, you guys can come at me with these weak arguments all you want to. Guys, this is open. It's open and shut for a reason. And Sway Coreblocks doesn't have an answer to what I just said, just like Edward Cross says. There is no answer. Yeah, MS7 says, FAFO, fuck around and find out. Yeah, you know what, Sway Coreblocks? You know, Austin Metcalf didn't fuck around and find out. Austin Metcalf did what he was supposed to do. No, Carmelo Anthony is the one that fucked around and found out. See? And again, Sway Coreblocks is letting us know indirectly that he is glad Austin Metcalf is dead. Guys, I think what we all need to understand is that there are actually niggas who celebrate the death of white people at the hands of black people. Okay? Sway Corblox is one of those people. He is glad that Austin Metcalf died at the hands of Carmelo Anthony. Sway Corblox is glad that Austin Metcalf's mother is grieving the death of her son. Okay? She's grieving the death of his son. Jesus Save says, no, you're just scared of knives. His knife was legal. His knife was legal. If he were outside of campus, Jesus Saves, then he would have been legal. It is against the law to bring a knife to school. It was under 5.5. You don't even know the law. I do know the law. And he can carry a knife that's under 5.5 inches. But here's why you don't know the law. It is illegal in the state of Texas to bring a knife on campus. There you go. There it is. There it is. Sway Corblock says, say my name again. No, now I'm going to ban you. Because dude, I swear to God, niggas are so funny. Niggas are so funny. They think that if you actually say their name, that they win. No, nigga, you're a nobody. Like, you're literally a nobody. And listen, I'm not afraid to talk to you. If you want to pull up, you are more than welcome to pull up. As a matter of fact, Sway Corblox, and I will say your name again. Say my name, say my name. At Sway Corblox, pull up. Pull up, Negro. Pull up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I'm not afraid. Honestly, I'm not afraid to talk to you people. Why is this not working? Is something wrong with my, wait a minute. That's weird. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with my, give me a second, guys. I'm not afraid to talk. I'm not afraid to talk to you guys if you disagree. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it in the chat. Why is this not working? It's not letting me put anything in here. All right, let me and I'm going to give my overall take on this, guys. What is happening with my, I don't understand what the hell is going on. Sorry, guys. I know this is... All right, give me a second. I'm gonna have to re-up the chat. And by the way, guys, the show is not... We are not close to being done. We are not close to being done. I am also going to be... I'm going to be doing police videos. Later on in the show, I will be reacting to police videos. And also, I'm going to talk about the waitress in Chicago who got her ass kicked by two black women. A woman in Chicago got her ass kicked by two black women for a ridiculous reason. I have no idea why my mouse is not working, and that is a big problem. That is a big time problem. I don't know why I'm not able to do anything with my... There we go. Okay. Yeah, listen, if you disagree, if you want to make fun in the chat and all this other kind of stuff, listen, I'm not afraid of cowards. I'm not afraid of you people. I'm just not. But I'm not going to have conversations. I'm not going to have conversations with people who are only in the chat. I think I need you to pull up. No, it's not bad. Oh God. All right. Guys, it's not the batteries. I'm still able to use my mouse, but for whatever reason, my mouse is not functioning. This is weird. This is very weird. It's not allowing me to do anything. But at any rate, guys, thankfully, guys, the link for you guys to pull up is in the chat. The link for you guys to pull up is pinned in the chat. I do not know why, dude. I'm on a $15,000 computer system. I will never understand why anything ever malfunctions. I'm just impatient like that. Okay, let's go to the prosecution attorneys. Let's go to his press conference here, and I'll react to what he says here. Hang on, guys. I don't know what the hell is happening. I really don't. I don't think it has anything to do with my equipment. I think it I'm able to move the mouse, but for whatever reason I can't click anything. I can't execute. Sorry, guys. I do apologize for this. Oh, that's the negative. Oh, I'm an idiot. There we go. All right, let's see how this works. No, it's not. It's not dead. It's just that my mouse is not functioning. I'm able to. Oh, there we go. I'm able to move the mouse and I'm able to click things, but I'm not. It's not allowing me to be. It's not allowing me to put anything in the chat. It's kind of weird. There we go. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. So who was the Professor Xavier says? How do we pull up like this, Professor Xavier? Hang on a second. All right, I think we're back on track. Give me a second here. So let me, okay, let me copy. So if you want to pull up, guys, there's the link right there. What was the other guy's name? At something or other. Yeah, the link is pinned in the chat, guys. Yeah, Sway Corblock's another dumb nigga. Yeah, he's still watching. So Sway Corblock's, there you go. Sway Corblock's is another dumb nigga. So is Jesus Saves. Jesus Saves, you're also another dumb nigga. You're also a dumb nigga in here, literally trying to blame Austin Metcalf's death on Austin Metcalf. This just shows, again, the degeneracy. This just shows how pathetic you niggas are, man. This is, sorry, man. Like, this is like, good guys. This is why nobody takes you guys seriously. This is why nobody takes you people seriously, because you people are dumb. No, we're good. Here, let me give you a link, Professor Xavier. There's the link to pull up right there. If you want to pull up, there's the link. There is the link. All right, very good. So now let me react to the prosecutor. In this case, he seemed to be a little bit more fair-minded. So here we go.
There's not much I can say, but the judge.
Can you come this way?
All right. Sure.
Okay, that's fine, right there.
All right, there's not much I can say. The judge has made the call, and so what's important is what's next. Frisco PD will be finishing up their investigation. They will.
Yeah, Dana Gonzalez makes a very good comment. She says, these people are saying they're happy Austin is dead are the same people that will be crying in a week when a young black man is killed by a police officer. That's why you can't even take them seriously. There you go, Dana. There you go. There it is. Like, dude, I see all these kinds of, they're mad that Austin Metcalf is out on bond. Why in the world would you say that? A young man is dead, and you're celebrating the release of his murderer? Come on.
Submit the case to my office. We will review it and ultimately present it to a grand jury. And so that's what's next. It's pretty much all I can say right now. We do our speaking in as far as the facts go in the courtroom. Many of you were in there, so you understand what was said. But this is a terrible tragedy for our entire, not just Frisco, but Collin County community. One family has suffered a permanent loss. It's the most unnatural thing for a parent to lose their child. It's permanent. It's
crazy,
profound.
man.
It's certainly premature. And it's the hardest thing that I think a human being can go through is to lose their child. The Anthony family has had a different kind of loss, but a loss nonetheless. But the judge has made her call, and we look forward to continuing the process and looking forward to reviewing all the facts of the case that Frisco PD is coming up with and present it to a grand jury. What we're concerned about as prosecutors is justice, truth, and accountability.
Justice, truth, and accountability. That's what I want, is justice, truth, and accountability. Niggas want an acquittal, and I'll talk about this a little later.
And so we will go where the facts lead us.
We will go where the facts lead us, and then I actually cut it off a little early because the press conference continued for a little while longer.
In your office, sir?
Well, This has definitely rocked our entire community.
Of course it has.
And so it has struck a nerve in the community, and it's hard for everybody to be level-headed at a time like this.
It is.
So that's where we come in. It's our job to be level-headed, to be fact-based, and to follow the truth wherever it leads. Thank you so much.
And what is your title?
Yep. He said they will follow the truth wherever it leads. So again, the prosecuting attorney is like, hey man, we're interested in justice. We're interested in justice. T-Law says he definitely wants to say more than he's saying. SMH, listen, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. He absolutely knows what he's doing. Yeah, so far nobody has pulled up. We got a bunch of niggas in the chat who want to disagree and make fun. And when I asked them to substantiate their claims, just like cowards, they run.
You ever been arrested?
Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna give my take here in just a second. There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
On February.
There we go. Okay, so that's the one right there. Okay, I'll probably have to find that one. Brandon Nesbitt says that bond was ridiculous for a 17-year-old, though. I mean, come on. No, Brandon. No, the bond was commiserate with the crime. The bond was commiserate with the crime. The reason why it was a $1 million bond is because Carmelo Anthony was accused of first-degree murder. That's why. And it's the age of the defendant. The age of the defendant is not a factor in this particular case. The age of the defendant is not a factor. This grown-ass man, stabbed another man. He stabbed him to death. That's what he did. All right, so now I'm going to give my take. I'm going to give my take on this, and then we will get into the nitty-gritty. We'll get into the Chicago. We are definitely going to watch some police videos, and yes, we will play police video hard R bingo. Yes, we will. Yes, we absolutely will. There we go. We absolutely will. Let me read some of your comments first before I get to your comments. And again, guys, thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. I appreciate that. I appreciate this very, very much. I think that this is a very, very important conversation for us to be having because it appears that most black people are actually out here defending this guy. Fuck around and find out. Ha 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 ha. Okay, yeah, that's very mature of you, but that also shows that you are a nigga. You are a nigga. People are. This is again, guys. This is racial idolatry, is what this is. This is racial idolatry. I mean, let's just. I mean, dude. Point blank. Period. Point blank. Period. That is exactly what this is. So, anytime, guys, there is a polarizing, political topic or religious issue, the two sides become very angry with each other, right? We can see that happening here, right? The pro Carmelo crowd is very angry at the pro Austin Metcalf crowd and vice versa, right? We're seeing it right now on the news. We're seeing it on social media. We're seeing it on YouTube videos. We're seeing it in the comment section. The thing is, guys, and I want to make this very, very clear, okay? The thing is that most of these people don't feel as much passion for their side of the cause as they do anger for the opposition. And it looks like somebody has pulled up. I'll get to you in just a second, Drew Danger. Okay? Most people don't feel as much passion for their side of the cause as they do anger for the opposition. Okay? And at some point, it really becomes more about pissing the other side off and hating those who oppose them than the actual cause itself. We're seeing it in our comment section right now. He fucked around and found out, right? He fucked around and found out. Like you're literally like you're not like honestly, seriously, you're saying that in the comments. But would you say that to Jeff Metcalf? Would you say that to Austin Metcalf's father? Would the niggas that are coming in here talking about he fucked around and found out, keep your hands to yourself, all this nigga shit? Would you say that to Austin Metcalf's dad's face? Well, your son fucked around and found out, Mr. Metcalf. Mrs. Metcalf or Miss Metcalf, your son is laying in the bed that he made for himself. Well, of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. They're human beings. They would obviously feel the pain and the anguish, right? But they're more really obsessed with trying to piss us off than the actual cause. This is not about Austin Metcalf for niggas anymore. Dude, niggas don't give a damn about Austin Metcalf. All they care about is pissing off white people. They want niggas getting away with killing white folks. That's what they want. Mason with the $2 super chat says, honestly, I'm not surprised that this happened. Neither am I. I'm not surprised that Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf to death, and I am not surprised that niggas are caping up for him. I'm not surprised that they have raised nearly $500,000 for this killer. I'm not surprised. This is just who people are. Right? Let's take abortion, for example. People who are pro-choice, which is pro-abortion without actually having to say that they are generally very, very angry because of people who are pro-life and vice versa, right? Bombing an abortion clinic, that's an idiotic thing to do, but they justify their anger with their position, right? Encouraging young women to sleep around for the sole purpose of getting an abortion and then posting it to social media, that is equally as foolhardy and is only done to incite anger and hostility with the other side. They know they don't really want women to sleep around so that they can get pregnant only to get an abortion. No, they're just doing it to get a rise out of the other side. People can say whatever they want at the end of the day, guys. There's no way that pro-choice, pro-abortion advocates are this passionate about killing babies before they take their first breath. In an honest moment, if posed the literal question, are you really this gung-ho? Are you really this gung-ho about inserting shears into a vagina and cutting up a fetus? They would tell you, well, of course not. But their anger simply comes as an overreaction to pro-life advocates. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to it, guys. That's just it. People who are in here talking all this shit, fuck around and find out. He should have kept his hands to himself. He made his bed. He's going to lay in it. They wouldn't say that to the Metcalf family. They wouldn't say that to the Metcalf's family's face. No, they're talking to us. They're talking to the people that actually want justice. So that's my first point. My second point, guys, is, and this is actually something that Phoenix Light Games sort of alluded to a little bit earlier, and he's 100% right. The so-called black community, aka the nigga community, they're a lot like women in this regard. Okay, and this Austin Metcalf situation has the potential to really turn out kind of like feminism, right? It sounds like feminism, right? We all know that over the past, 30, 40 years since feminism, women have been able to run roughshod over men in court. It doesn't matter which court there is. Family court, women win. Criminal court, women win. We all know that in criminal court, men routinely get harsher sentences for committing the same crime. Civil court, it's the same thing. Well, guys, this is the same way in this situation. When a black person commits a crime against a white person, the black community blindly comes to their defense. Not because they believe in his or her innocence, but because they want black people to be exonerated when committing crimes against white people. Let me repeat that. Niggas who come to the defense of a black person who commits a crime against a white person, it's not because they believe in that nigga's innocence. No. It's because niggas want black people to be exonerated when committing crimes against white people, and that is all there is to it. How many people cheered when OJ, or how many people who cheered when OJ got off knew he did it? How many people knew he did it? I knew OJ did it. 100%. I knew he did it, and I was glad at the time, foolishly, that he got away with it. One of us got one of them. Here's something else. Yeah, O.J. Simpson was acquitted. He was found not guilty. That doesn't mean that O.J. Simpson didn't do it. O.J. Simpson 1,000% killed Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman. He was found not guilty by a jury of his peers. And the reason he was found not guilty is because niggas love it when black people commit crimes against white people, and they want to help get away with it. And think about this too. This is also another precedent. Okay? And this is what I said a little bit earlier. Do Not Pasco on the Rumble side says setting him free would be opening the doors for more violence. 1,000%. We now have the blueprint. We have now been supplied with the blueprint thanks to the niggas in the so-called black community on getting away with committing crimes against white people. Right? Black person commits a crime against a white person. You know, let's not even call it committing crimes. Killing, assaulting, maiming, whatever. Raping a white person, right? Niggas instantly jump on board without all of the facts, and they say, oh, he did it in self-defense, or it was his fault, or it was her. They jump on board. They instantly run to go send me, go fund me, send, give, blah, 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 and they raise $500,000 for this kid. That $500,000 is clearly going straight to the attorney. That $500,000 is going straight to the attorney. Not only that, that $500,000 is also going to them. It's just like the Dennis Moore said. The moral of the story is that you can kill pardon me. The moral of the story is you can kill a white person and get rich off of doing it. You can kill a white person and get rich off of doing it. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony is about to be prosecuted. He's about to be tried for this murder, but his family is about to be $500,000 richer. Now, I don't know what his attorney charges per hour. My guess is that the lawyer will probably get a substantial portion of that $500,000. And when the trial starts, my guess is that the giving will not stop. Okay? It's niggas that are getting this dude off. This is setting a precedent. Okay? This is setting a precedent. If this kid gets away with killing Austin Metcalf, we now have a blueprint. You kill a white person, you claim self-defense, right? You put it all over social media, niggas come right to your defense. Guys, they've hacked the system. Niggas have hacked the system. We actually have people who believe this kid was justified in what he was doing simply because of the false narratives that he's putting it out. Ghost 1978 says, if he is found innocent, there will be a bad precedent set. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you what, man. I can't think of another trial. I remember the OJ trial. That was the trial of the century. Man. This has the potential also to be the trial of the century because there are major, major implications that hinge upon his innocence or guilt. Okay? If he is found guilty, black people are going to riot. Niggas are going to riot. Think about they're going to riot. We all know this. Now, here's the thing. We got a lot of niggas who are mad at us. Guys, I'm not mad. At Carmelo Anthony. Okay? I'm not mad at this kid. I don't know who he is. Okay? Listen, I know he should be in jail for murder, but I don't know him. Right? I'm mad at niggas. Okay? I'm mad at niggas because niggas are consistently endorsing this behavior with their music and their culture, and then when a nigga actually kills a white person, oh, yep, there it is. We're just going to pay the money, and we're going to make sure that he gets released. It's going to make sure that they're going to make sure he is released. $5, $10. All niggas got to do is pool their money together. That's all they have to do. There's another story. Professor Xavier says conjecture and hyperbole. You're gonna have to give me a little more context than that. Kyron Lacey is a former LSU receiver who recently killed himself. He was an NFL hopeful, and they found him dead. I forget where they found him dead. Anyway, he killed himself. Right? Cause of death was suicide. Well, not long ago, he was arrested for, I think, vehicular manslaughter. Like he was driving recklessly, he was passing people, he caused this big wreck, and a 78-year-old lost his life. Okay? Kyron Lacey, I think he might have been wanted by the cops, whatever the case may be. Kyron Lacey decided to kill himself because he knew he was probably going to be found guilty, just like Henry Ruggs III. It's just like Henry Ruggs III. Black people have saved Carmelo Anthony's life because of the outpouring, okay? They have saved his life. Carmelo Anthony probably would have offed himself. He probably would have offed himself. But now, because there is a reasonable chance that he might actually be acquitted, combined with the fact that he just made a reduced bond, now he gets to sit at home. He gets to sit at home while all of this is happening. So niggas have saved this kid's life. This kid probably, honestly, when this kid was sitting in jail, I can promise you, suicide probably entered this kid's mind at some point. Okay? Because not only do we know he's guilty, Carmelo Anthony also knows he's guilty. He knows he's guilty. He knows he did it. He knows he did it. Right? He knows what happened. He knows he's probably going to jail. Right? But this has the potential to be sort of a powder keg. Because like I said before, if Carmelo Anthony is convicted, black people are going to riot. Black people are going to riot. And the Dennis Moore on the Rumble side said, yeah, there are no collections for the funeral of the stabbed guy that I've heard of. Absolutely. And this is what's wrong with this country. There is no outpouring of affection for the Metcalf family. There is no GoFundMe to help the Metcalf family bury their son. Yet there is a GoFundMe. There is a GoFundMe for the kid who actually committed the crime. And they have raised nearly $500,000. This, again, guys, if niggas continue to do this, I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, dude, we better watch out. We better watch out, because I think what a lot of niggas tend to I think what a lot of niggas really sort of, what gets lost in translation is that we're the minority, guys. We're not the majority in this country. We make up 13.5% of the population in the United States of America. And if white people decide, you know what? We're done with this shit. Y'all, we are all in fucking trouble. We are all in fucking trouble, y'all. If white people decide to flex their majority, that's going to be bad for all of us. That's going to be bad for all of us. Niggas, it's so funny. Niggas really do believe. They really do believe that they can get away. That's cool. If Carmelo Anthony gets off, that's going to be a bad precedent. There's going to be many, many more Carmelo Anthonys. How many more Carmelo Anthonys are there going to be before white people finally just say, hey, man, enough's enough. Enough is enough. Robert Anderson says there is a GoFundMe for the Metcalf family. Okay, good. And I can promise you, well, I wonder what the GoFundMe is up to on that one. I wonder what the GoFundMe is on that one. Right? However, if Carmelo Anthony is acquitted, you think white people are going to riot? Of course not. They're not going to riot. That looks bad. Not only that, white people don't act like savages when shit doesn't go their way, unlike niggas. Right? Guys, that's on the minds of the jury. Whatever jury ends up being selected for this case, that's going to be on their minds. They're not really going to be thinking about innocence or guilt. They're going to be thinking about the repercussions of an acquittal or a conviction. They're going to know, if we acquit this kid or if we convict this kid, black people are not going to be happy. They saw what happened to Minneapolis. They saw what happened to LA. They saw what happened in Watts, that neighborhood in LA. They see what's happening in Oregon. They see how niggas react when shit doesn't go their way, especially in court. That's going to be on their minds, guys, just like it was on their minds in the OJ case. Now, here's the difference between people like me and niggas. Niggas want an acquittal, okay? Niggas want an acquittal, straight up. They don't care. They want this kid to be acquitted no matter what. They want this kid to absolutely be acquitted. Dude, this has not, as far as they're concerned, this has nothing to do with justice. They want an acquittal because they want a black person to get away with killing a white person. Straight up. That's all they want. That's what they want. That's what they want. Drew Danger, I'm going to get to you in just a second. They want an acquittal. Straight up. They don't care. They're not interested in justice. My side, we're interested in justice. Now, here's the thing. If we were to find out in the Professor Xavier, I'm going to ban you because I want you to pull up. I want you to pull up. Professor Xavier, you're getting on my nerves. You're talking too much shit in the chat. Get your ass up here and let's have a conversation. I'm not going to allow you to hijack my chat. Sorry. Niggas want an acquittal. We want justice. Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, this is how I know that we are that we are on the right side of the law or history. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's just say, and we don't know the whole story. Let's just say that during the case, it comes out, or there is a video of Austin Metcalf saying, "Get out of here. Carmelo, get out of here. And if you don't get out of here, I'm going to stab you." Then guess what? I will be the first to come on here and say, "Hey, guys, I was wrong. I should have waited for all of the facts of the case to come out. I was wrong. My bad. I rushed to judgment. Austin Metcalf didn't deserve to die, but this is why you don't brandish a knife at somebody else with a knife. This is why you don't brandish it at someone else with a knife." Jay Blaze, I'm going to get to you in just a second. All right. If I find that out, I will be the first to tell you, hey, you know what? I was wrong, right? I was wrong. If Austin had a knife, cool. Hey, then guess what? Carmelo Anthony was legitimate in his response to what happened. I get it, right? But niggas, let's just say, for example, there is a video that comes out that shows Carmelo Anthony pulling out the knife. Actually, you want to know something? Let's just say this. Let's just say same video on the other side, that Austin Metcalf didn't even put his hands on Carmelo Anthony. Let's just say that there was a video of them going back and forth, him grabbing Carmelo Anthony's bag, not touching Carmelo, moving the bag, Carmelo taking it out and stabbing him. Guess what? Niggas would still come up with an excuse. Well, it's not what he said, it's how he said it. He might have used the N-word. No matter what the facts of the case are, niggas are always going to defend Carmelo Anthony. They're doing it right now. This kid brought a knife to school. He brought a knife to school and he went into the opponent's tent. Niggas are still defending that. But our side, if there is damning evidence against Austin Metcalf, I'll be the first to tell you, okay, this looks bad for Austin. Niggas ain't trying to hear that. They're not trying to hear that. They're making up stories. Well, Austin was a bully. Okay, that's hearsay. Here's a fact. Carmelo Anthony brought a knife to school. Well, Austin put his hands on Carmelo. There's no verification of that. But here's what we also know. Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf to death. That we do know. Well, Austin Metcalf must have bullied him. Okay, that's possible. But here's what we do know. Carmelo Anthony walked into the opponent's tent. He was not invited. They didn't cajole him. He did this of his own free will and volition. If it came out that Austin Metcalf calmly told him to leave and didn't put his hands on him, niggas would either try to twist it around and still justify Carmelo stabbing him by saying, well, he threatened him or bullied him. But if damning evidence comes out about Austin, we will change our position, gentlemen. But we haven't heard anything such. And if there was any evidence that Austin Metcalf posed a mortal danger to Carmelo Anthony, number one, Carmelo Anthony wouldn't have run. Number two, he wouldn't have ditched the knife. And number three, he would not have been arrested. Guys, niggas who are defending this killer, they're wrong. And they know they're wrong. But they don't care that they're wrong. They don't care. Niggas and the so-called black community simply want to revel and relish and celebrate the fact that a black person killed a white person, and they want him to get away with it. They wanted OJ to get away with killing Nicole, and Ron, he got away with it. They want the same thing for Carmelo Anthony. The difference is now they can actually financially contribute to another gross miscarriage of justice in the American justice system. As far as niggas are concerned, hey, look, okay, so what if he's guilty? This is our reparations. This eventually is why people are going to get tired. This is another reason people are tired of niggas. It's insane. It's insane. All right, let me bring up Drew Danger. So Drew, you look like you are a podcaster. It looks like you've got some podcasting equipment there. What's on your mind, man?
Hey, Donovan, I just wanted to say thank you for doing what you do. I'm a big fan, and I love everything that you put out, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. I like your shirt, too, by the way. That shit's gangster, man. A little Jean-Claude Van Damme action. So what's up? What's going on, man?
I just wanted to say this. I worked in law enforcement for about 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And what people have to understand is this. Guilty is guilty, innocent is innocent.
Okay.
And let me go a little further. Like you said earlier, which I'm so glad you put that down there, which is this. O.J. Simpson might have been called innocent, but he had enough money and enough lawyers and enough connection to get him off.
That's right.
So let's be honest about that. Same with Robert Blake.
Yep.
Let's be honest about that.
Same with Casey Anthony.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
If you got certain situations over, you can get away with murder. And it does not mean because they say you're innocent that you are innocent. In the case of this young man, like yourself, if he did something we don't know about, I'll be the first one to be like, hey, okay.
Right.
But so far from what I'm seeing and you're seeing, right?
Yeah.
It's looking the other way.
That's right.
And let's get on the black community, Donovan.
Let's do it.
Let's go there. You guys should be ashamed of yourself. Completely. This is why I when people ask me my ethnicity, I'm like, I'm a 21 Caucasian man. I don't want to be associated with it. I don't want to be associated with it at all. And because it is shameful. We are hated around the world. We're hated in Spain. We're hated in Egypt. We're hated everywhere in our own country. Illegal immigrants hate us more than anything else. Caucasian community could be an ally, but we keep messing up.
Yep.
And like you said, if we keep messing up, they can turn around and gang up on us because we are only 13% and they are the bigger percentile.
I'm telling you.
As well as everybody else is the bigger percentile. So we're stuck. But yet we want to keep messing up the image of what we are, or what I should say, Donovan, what we used to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've degraded down. Because I'm going to tell people this. Everybody get your notebooks out. Here we go.
Let's go.
When civil rights was going, right before, when Jim Crow, right before.
Yep.
Black families were at an 87 percentile for having good families back then.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. And you know where we are today? We are at a 12 and 8, something like that.
Something like that.
In between there. Yeah. Broken homes, all that stuff. So Donovan, how did we have productive, smart, educated people when we couldn't even go to the same water fountains?
Unbelievable.
At an 87% percentile.
Yes.
And people getting educated. Right?
Yes.
And now in modern days where we've got all the access, all the computers, all the technology, we are sitting in the worst trash can out there.
Unbelievable.
How does that happen? And I'm so tired of these Nation of Islam, these Hebrew Israelites, all these people coming out trying to tell you who to marry, who to date, and how to act.
There you go.
And I'm here to tell everybody, you go where you are welcomed, and you go for who is for you.
That's
and
right.
I don't give a care what color they are. If they help you to be the best version of yourself, if they help you to be all you can be, go for it.
Absolutely.
And that's what you need to focus in on. And if somebody does a murder and they are guilty, I don't care what color they are guilty. And you all need to accept that. Stop covering for people. You hated O.J. Simpson. The black community said he was the biggest sellout of all time.
Absolutely.
But the moment that murder happened, because he's black, everybody wants to show up.
There you go.
No. He has been guilty, always will be guilty.
Yep.
And all these people you guys want to get out, all these people that you want to go, well, you got to have some sympathy for them. You got to have some understanding for them. No. Did they show up on the right terms? Nope. Okay, then. They're guilty. I don't give a care. Okay, when Chris Rock and Will Smith got in that whole slap thing, that was supposed to be, the first time they said it was an all-black, what did they say, production crew?
Yeah, all-black production crew, all of that.
Right? What happened? The moment they put us in, and then that's going to take us down a peg.
We acted a fool.
Yes.
We acted a fool.
Thank you. We look like fools because now they're going to go, Donovan, you know this, they're going to go, see, that's what happened when we let them get up there. That's never going to be again. See? And see, that's what I'm talking about. You guys are out here, and again, you got an opportunity, and then you messed it up. So people aren't going to take the black community seriously. They haven't for many, many years. Not since the days of Nat King Cole have we been taken seriously. And now people don't want to mess with us. The days of Billy D. Williams are over. He's still alive,
dude, Sidney
but he's of
Poitier,
an older
all of
class.
it's done.
Yeah, it is completely done. We've lost our respect, our credibility. We have nothing. Nobody speaks eloquent anymore. You know, I start talking. If you covered my screen, everybody would think I look like Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yes.
That's the thing about it. Is we're in this place, and we should be much further along than what we are. All those people that fought and did and made happen and all these things, they're all rolling in their graves because we have made a mockery out of it. We've traded it in for fried chicken and gold teeth.
Woo! Wow! Holy shit!
That's
man.
the truth. That's the truth. Fried chicken and gold teeth and big butts, right? That's
right. Big asses. Yeah, that's
for.
exactly right.
That's what we've done, and everybody just thinks that's acceptable. That's how black people are. If my son goes walking out, people have images about him, you know, because of the stereotype that we've made into a reality. People stereotype. It's a reality now. It's not a stereotype anymore.
No, it's not. It's not a stereotype. It's the truth.
It is the truth, Donovan. It's been the truth. And I'm so tired of these people coming out here trying to tell us, oh, we're not black enough. We're not this enough. Guess what? I didn't want to be black enough. I just wanted to be a person. The color didn't matter to me.
No.
You guys are really stuck on that black thing. You think black is going to make you bulletproof? You think black is going to cure your cancer? You think black is going to stop everything? You are the same as any other human person. Let me tell you. The same. You do not have an advantage. And stop with the hate of Caucasian people.
Dude,
okay?
what is that?
There's no reason.
Exactly. No, there's no reason.
There's no reason. Unless somebody did something to you, bring it up with the person, not with the color.
I'm telling you, man.
With the person.
Here's one thing that the so-called black community has really done that has really sort of hamstrung that community is they keep laying all of their problems at the feet of black people, not realizing. And I don't know if you're a fan of The Godfather of Harlem. It's one of the best series I've ever watched. But I remember
I've watched it. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. I remember one scene. Forrest Whitaker plays Bumpy Johnson's character. Mm-hmm. And I remember they wanted to make like this big deal with the French Connection. Well, Redman, one of the other families, they got a bunch of black families together. They wanted to double cross Bumpy Johnson. And Bumpy Johnson got wind of that, and he took care of the people with the pew-pews. And he didn't want to have to do it later on in the episode. Bumpy, he's got his tie off, he's got a drink in his hand. He's like, dude, the problem with us is us. We are our own worst enemy. It's like if black people actually work together in unison in a way that's productive, we would be so much further along than we are. But we're dealing with the colorism and dark-skinned black women hating on light-skinned black women, and if you're married to a white girl, you have no say, and all this and all this nonsense, and it's gotten us to this point. Think about how crazy this is, Drew. We have an African American man who stabbed and killed a white man. And most black people that you are seeing around are defending Carmelo Anthony. And it's not even that they're defending him. They know he's guilty. They know that he is guilty, yet they are still defending him, not because they want justice. It's because they want to see another black man get away with killing another white person because of reparations or because of slavery that happened 152 years ago that you or your grandparents had nothing to do with. We live in the greatest country on earth. We really do. Yes, we do. And black people and women, all they do is complain about what the fuck they don't have. And it has made them the two most miserable groups in the world. When you combine those two groups together, you get the American black woman, who is the most miserable group of people in the world who live in the greatest country in the world. It's incredible.
Donovan, let me tell you something. My own, and see, this is how much I don't care about this stuff. My own mother believes that Jim Crow is coming back like tomorrow. She had a whole conversation with me on my birthday, 3 hours, telling me how Jim Crow was going to come back and how we're going to be back in slavery and all this stuff like that. And she went on. And we've got people believing that this is going to happen. And by the way, I want to say this, and I think you're going to love this, Donovan.
Okay.
I made sure I told my mother, my aunts, sisters, everybody. I said, you will never, ever hear of me marrying a black woman.
Woo! Uh-oh.
Not going to happen.
Holy
and guess
moly.
what? 15 years married, not to a black woman.
Hey!
Fantastic.
Now, let me ask you something. Did your mother spontaneously combust on the spot?
Oh. Here's what happened. I said, hey, I'm marrying this girl. I said, listen, I really like her. My mom said, that's nice. I said, I'm going to marry her. She said, that's nice. I said, I'm going to do it right now. That's nice. I'm getting the ring. That's nice. So when I got it, she didn't believe it. We came over to the house, and then she saw the engagement ring. They actually ended up getting in a fight because my mom took the ring and put on these glasses and went like this. Put the ring all the way up to her face and said,
my God.
Oh, there's a few diamonds in there. My wife works with horses. She doesn't want a lot of big stuff. She let me know what kind of ring she likes. So that's what I bought.
Right.
So she's happy with it. She's like, this is what I wanted. My mom's it's cheap. So a fight broke out. So I had to get her out of there as fast as I could. When we got married, the picture, my mom is not smiling at all.
Of course not.
She was not happy. So I'm not with this. Black women are the most bitter, angry, sad, ridiculous women I've ever seen in my life. And I include my mother and my sisters in there because they have showed me how bitter and how angry and how deceitful they can truly, truly, truly be.
Insane.
It's crazy. And we got to do something about this because we can't. What I'm going to advise is this.
Okay.
Young men out there, don't marry black women. Let's boycott. Let's start a boycott. Let's make some T-shirts. Let's start a boycott.
Okay.
We need to not date black women and definitely not marry them. Marry other people that are for you, people that are going to help you be the best version of yourself, and you can give that to them. That's who you need to be with, and forget this stuff over here. And maybe they'll get the message, and they'll start cleaning themselves up, and they'll actually start wearing their real hair, okay? Like, they can get that over with, because you guys wear so much crazy hair and crazy makeup.
Jesus
you guys
Christ.
look like gremlins.
Unbelievable. Drew, let me ask you something, man. Do you have a podcast?
I have a channel.
Okay.
It's called Drew Danger X.
Okay.
Check it out. I haven't put anything on it lately because I kind of took a break from it for a little bit.
Okay.
I got out of chemotherapy. So
wow.
When I got back, I was trying to figure out how to kind of rearrange my channel. I'm good friends with OG Silverback.
Okay.
I've been on Big Hurt Fresh Out 916.
Okay.
As a guest.
Okay.
So I'm getting back in the swing of things.
I'm going to ask you a favor, man, because I don't know if you realize this, but or if I don't know if you've heard of me doing this, but I plan on doing. Did you ever watch my panel show with Kevin Samuels, Myron Gaines, Minister Japp, Mr. Lucario? Do you remember watching The Six?
I do remember that because Minister Japp was on. I'm friends with Judge Joe Brown, and I've been on the show with him, and that's how I got to see Minister Japp.
Oh,
so
wow.
I was on with him
good.
and Dana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, very good. Very, very good. I would like to, I'm putting together another panel. Okay. And I want it to be the six-like panel. I know my guy, Jamie, is definitely, I definitely want him to be on it. I also want, and somebody said they just subscribed to your channel. I also want Phoenix Light Games to be on there. I would love to extend the invitation to you because, dude, you're well spoken. You've got good teeth. Yeah, you're well spoken. You've got good teeth, and you and I seem to speak the same language, man. So if you would, man, do me a favor, join my Discord, and I will give you. I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you what I'll do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in the private. Let me put this in the private chat here. I'm going to put, there it is. All right, so this is my phone number.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that is my. I just put it in the private chat.
Cool.
Shoot me a text message. Shoot me a text message as soon as possible because I would love to connect with you. I'd love to connect with you and make this panel thing happen because I'm going to tell you something, Drew. The six was probably it's probably the greatest and most enjoyable thing I have ever done. I look back on it with a sense of fondness, but also with a sense of sadness because, dude, those were the good old days, man. The Six launched the careers of Kevin Samuels, Myra Gaines, Minister Jap, all those guys. But clearly, there needs to be a panel show of men just like us who reject niggas, who reject the so-called black community. We need to be waking people up. And I think that you are tailor-made for something like this. So if you see my phone number there in the private chat, dude, do me a favor, hit me up, and we will definitely connect, my friend.
I'm actually already on it, and I'm putting it in. And
very good.
Let me see.
Now
I'm putting it in right here because Donovan, I just want to thank you. I have been waiting for something like this my entire time, man. I am so excited to just do anything with you. I'm such a fan.
Absolutely. Well, listen, that is definitely going to happen very, very soon. And for all of you thinking you can jump in there and get my phone number, it doesn't work that way. Nice try. Defender MMA says, once I find my password, I'm gonna pull up. Love your LOL. Love your show. Drew, I'm gonna let you go because I'm gonna bring on Jay Blaze. But text me as soon as possible, and you and I will definitely connect. It's gonna be me, you, Jamie, Phoenix Light Games, and I'll be looking for 2 more panelists. But I think we could probably get it done with 4. Moving on. So I'll give you the details, man. But yeah, listen, dude, absolutely. I think you are absolutely perfect for the show. I would love to have you on, man.
Thank you so much, Donovan. I just sent you a text. So that's perfect. My phone number.
Okay, very, very good. Let me make
anytime.
Awesome. So, got you, Drew.
I would love to do that. And congratulations on marrying your wife. I know it's been a while, but I've always wanted to tell you that in person.
Thank you.
You have done fantastic. And you invested, and it's paid off. And I want the world to see that. That's what success looks like. Keep it coming.
Drew Danger, subscribe to his channel, Drew Danger X. Drew, we will definitely be in touch soon, my friend.
All right, Donovan, keep it cool.
You too, brher. All right. Guys, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, gentlemen. This is how these things start. Okay, let me bring up Jay Blaze. All right, Jay Blaze, what's on your mind, brother?
Okay, Drew Danger was the man because he had like a 60s radio voice. But new reports say Carmelo Anthony's family moved into a 350 square foot house that is worth $800,000.
350 or 3,500 square foot?
350 square foot around there.
Okay.
And worth $800,000.
How are they able to do that?
I think they're going to plan on using his defense fund.
Wow. Oh, my God. This is crazy. I cannot believe it.
Even more wild. It gets even more wild. This is crazy.
Oh, my God, dude.
So I had to come on and tell you. Dude, it's wild.
I'm going to tell you what, man. I hope they allow cameras in the courtroom, dude. If they allow cameras in the courtroom, dude, I'm going to have content for the next fucking 30. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And if they're because his defense fund's up to $500K, dude, if they use that, he has no defense. So are they going to use it for the house? Like, it comes from multiple reports that the family did move into this like massive house.
Wow, dude, stay tuned. Oh, this is going to be absolutely crazy, man.
Wild.
Melanie Berrios in the chat says a new car too. Apparently, unbelievable. Unbelievable! Oh my God, this is absolutely crazy.
This is hood stuff. Like
this is hood shit. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Like, how do you use your money when, dude, your son needs that money to just stay out of jail? You
went and you buy a $800,000 house and a new fucking car. Man, if that ain't nigga shit, I don't know what is, man.
And say I don't know what their household income is, but even if you put $500,000 into the $800,000 house, you still have a probably at least $2K a month You have to pay?
Yeah, at least. At least.
At least. So are they just getting house poor from this?
Oh my dude, my head is about to explode. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're doing exactly what
This is why everyone's poor. Like, they make bad decisions with their money. Like, this is why we're such in debt, and it's wild.
Oh my god, that is absolutely crazy. Jay Blaze, thanks for dropping that nugget on us, man. Holy god. Oh my god, the plot thickens. You gotta be kidding me with this. You've got to be kidding me with this. Holy moly. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly. That is absolutely effing crazy. All right, guys, I am going to take a quick potty break. I'm going to take a quick potty break, and when we get back, we will continue with the Hard R podcast and the police videos. Don't go near, guys. Be back in a little bit. It's a rocket scientist to see that modern relationships are in the toilet. Anyone paying attention can clearly see that men and women are really struggling in the dating department. Everyone seems to be looking for answers about what to do in relationships to increase the odds of a favorable outcome, which is simple: being in a great relationship with someone who loves and respects you and treats you well. However, the advent of hookup culture, the smartphone, and dating apps have severely crippled relationships between men and women. Simply and more succinctly put, modern dating is a dumpster fire. And the two biggest reasons are A, today's men are ill-equipped to handle the modern dating landscape, and B, most women are after the same guys. Further, any effective advice given to men by men gets creatively hidden, canceled, or purposely made extremely difficult to find thanks to the powers that be out in Silicon Valley. As a result, more and more men are leaving the dating market, at least here in the West. Between the men going their own way movement and the recent emergence of the passport bros, more and more men have either sworn off dating and relationships altogether, or have gone overseas to seek better options for relationships and families. Now, if you've decided to give up on dating as a man, I certainly don't blame you. Modern women are becoming increasingly difficult to attract, maintain, and have good relationships with. On the other side of that equation, most men, whether they admit it or not, do in fact want relationships. Unfortunately for men in the West, finding a woman of potential quality is next to impossible. And even if he happens to find one, she's more than likely spoken for, as most men of value, foreign and domestic, take quality women off the market very quickly. These are the kinds of things that make going to a foreign land to find a worthwhile companion extremely enticing for Western men. And for some, this option is 344% the right thing for them to do. But while moving abroad is certainly a viable option for some men, it is not a solution for most men. The truth is that even though we talk about moving abroad to escape Western females, most men are either unwilling or unable to move to a foreign country to find better women. Leaving your family, friends, and everything you have ever known is the kind of proposition that presents the kinds of risks and uncertainties that repels most men from taking the plunge. So what's a Western man to do if seeking a woman abroad isn't the right move for him? What options does a man have if he doesn't have the desire or resources to move overseas? Should he A, continue to waste his time, money, and attention on pursuing the overweight, entitled, delusional women of the Western Hemisphere? B, swear off women completely and reduce himself to a growing number of men who only get pleasure from their right hand thanks to spicy movie sites and OF subscriptions? Or C, constantly complaining to anyone who will listen about how horrible modern women are? If you don't like any of those options, I do have good news for you. There is a fourth option. And that option is understanding that D, conditional love, is the key ingredient for long-term relationships to work. That's right, gentlemen, I did not stutter. Conditional love is paramount for successful long-term relationships. And that, my friends, is the cheat code. From the cavemen of the Mesozoic era, when dinosaurs roamed the earth, to the Renaissance era of the 15th and 16th centuries, to the greatest generation when traditional values were at the forefront of American culture, love has always been conditional, whether we realize it or not. Do you think a cave woman would love a caveman if he were lazy, didn't hunt, and didn't protect her from the predators of the time? Of course not. So a cave woman's love was absolutely conditional because her survival quite literally depended on it. The world tells us that unconditional love is the foundation for successful long-term relationships, but history shows us that this just isn't true. The simple truth is that there are conditions to everything in life, and love often has the most conditions attached to it. Why else do you think it's such a big deal when one professes their love for someone else? So now the question becomes, how do we apply the notion of unconditional love in our own relationship endeavors? More specifically, how exactly does this help today's men become more successful with modern women? Conditional Love, the Idiot's Guide to Modern Relationship Success, is the answer. This guide is the first of its kind that offers real-world, actionable relationship guidance based on the very concept of conditional love, something we've been taught is a bad thing in relationships our entire lives. This incredible course contains over 200 hours of material. It will take you step by step through the process of building, cultivating, and maintaining the kind of relationship with a woman that every man wants, which means teaching you how to establish clear boundaries, high standards, and expectations that will command her respect from the very beginning. And the 7 modules in this one-of-a-kind course will cover every aspect of engineering a rock-solid relationship from start to finish. The first module is the 49 Laws of Sharp. These 49 laws will completely reprogram your mindset as it pertains to modern women. Everything you have ever been taught about women will be turned inside out and will quite literally rewire your brain to understand what women really are as opposed to what the world wants you to think they are. This information will be such a shock to your system that you'll have to watch it several times to wrap your mind around these shocking yet immutable truths about modern women and dating. Students often refer back to this section throughout this course to help bridge any gaps in understanding they may encounter. Module number 2 is my 5-part 7-hour audio guide on relationship building, how to build a quality woman from the ground up. This module will instruct you step by step on laying a rock-solid foundation for your relationship. It will teach you how to thoroughly screen women for potential relationships, how to coach your candidate to become the submissive, obedient woman you want and need her to be, how to establish clear boundaries, expectations, and standards that she will happily abide by, how to create a sexual relationship that satisfies you both, and what to do should things get a little rocky. In short, the second module takes you through the entire process of building your woman and relationship brick by brick, and the information in this section has proven to be very effective many times over. Yes, even with American women. The third module is for men who want to master the art of handling women in casual sexual relationships. While most men desire meaningful long-term relationships with women, it is very important to gain as much knowledge and experience as possible before selecting your candidate, and module number 3 will help you do just that. How to Master the Game is packed with over 25 hours of actionable advice and guidance on how to navigate the sexual marketplace here in the 2020s. This knowledge is based on my own personal experience. I went through hundreds of hours of trial and error while approaching thousands of women, so you don't have to. So if you're looking to increase your game level in short-term and casual relationships, Section 3 is absolutely paramount to your success. Module number 4 is kind of a hybrid in that it will help you in both short-term and long-term relationships. Shit test inefficiency is one of the biggest reasons men fail with modern women. Not being able to effectively respond to a woman testing your masculinity early on will severely compromise her attraction to you. The shit test module will teach you how and when to respond to a woman shit testing you. Being proficient with shit tests is like having all of the answers to the test before you take the test. That is how powerful the information in this section is. The 5th module is for men who are financially well off or well on their way. Women are a lot of things, gentlemen. Stupid isn't one of them, at least when it comes to recognizing the kinds of men who could change their lives economically. And if you're a man of means, the wrong woman will target you for resource extraction, which can and will severely hamstring your finances. The Gold Digger Guide here in Section 5 will arm you with the knowledge to understand very clearly if women are interested in you or just your money. Put simply, this section pays for itself immediately, especially if you're in a higher tax bracket. Module 6 contains the kind of next-level advanced relationship guidance that will quite literally determine success versus failure. My wife and I have been together for almost 9 years and we have a great relationship. I lead, she follows, and we adhere to the kinds of traditional relationship values that have stood the test of time. In this section, we will impart the wisdom we've acquired over the years to you. This 5-hour module will teach you how to thrive as a couple while also bringing out the very best in each other. The advice and instruction we provide in this section is easy to understand and even simpler to implement in your own relationship. While Devin and I understand that our advice will be highly unorthodox by today's standards, our track record speaks for itself, as these techniques we discuss have proven to be highly effective and sustainable. We understand that nothing comes easy, but if you stick to it and do exactly as we instruct you to do, your relationship will flourish. The last and final module is the crown jewel of all dating and relationship advice for men, and that is Womanese 101. Womanese 101 is a revolutionary, one-of-a-kind guide that translates female communication with shocking accuracy. It is quite literally the cheat code that every man needs to date successfully, both short and long term. With well over 600 translations, Womanese will take your dating and relationship game to the next dimension. And make no mistake, modern women do not want you to have this information. Why? Because it shifts the advantage to you. You see, gentlemen, low-quality women thrive on male ignorance. The fact that most men take what women say at face value makes it very easy for women to trick them into thinking they're quality women. Well, with Womanese, you will quickly see right through any woman's attempt at misleading you into thinking she's a good girl when she's actually quite the opposite. Womanese 101 has completely changed the lives of tens of thousands of men worldwide. Since its release, my inbox is inundated with countless stories and testimonies that are directly attributed to the material they learned from Womanese. What's more is that every one of these translations will be in video and audio format, so you can watch at your leisure or listen on the go. Now, as incredible as these 7 modules are, I'm going to add 4 unbelievable bonuses that will not only increase your knowledge level, but will supercharge your results. Bonus number 1, the first ever interactive ebook, How to Properly Vet Women for Relationships. This ebook is jam-packed with the kind of information I wish I had when I first started dating seriously. The vetting process is the most important element of any relationship, and bonus number 1 works as the perfect supplemental companion to module number 2. Bonus number 2, the second ever interactive ebook, How to Train Your Woman. Yep, you heard me correctly, I said train. This ebook contains hard-hitting, no bullshit, real-world, actionable advice that will quickly show your candidate that you are a man who isn't to be toyed with. Following the advice in this ebook will almost instantly engender a level of respect she's never had for another man, as well as keeping her in line and on your program from start to finish. Like bonus number 1, this bonus is also a great supplement to module number 2. The third bonus is one of my most underrated ebooks, How to Stop Female Manipulation. Just because you like a woman and she likes you does not mean she's not going to try to manipulate you on some level to some degree. It's nothing to get upset about, this is just how women are. Well, the simple answers on how to stop female manipulation in and out of relationships in its tracks are in this ebook. Bonus number 4 is the Masculine Excellence Lifestyle Kit. This bonus contains over 50 hours of video and audio content from the legends of the Red Pill community. Guys like Rollo Tomasi who discuss open hypergamy, the soulmate myth, and the downsides of female nature. Myron Gaines also made a big contribution to this kit by educating us on fitness do's and don'ts, optimizing body composition, and much more. The kit also includes 5 hours of advice from the late great Kevin Samuels regarding your style and how to dress to impress in any situation. These bonuses by themselves are already going to be life-changing as it is, but imagine how drastically your dating life will improve when you pair these bonuses with the 7 transformative modules. Look, I know you've probably spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars on books, courses, classes, boot camps, and everything in between in hopes of improving your dating life. And while some of these products can help some men in some areas, this course will help all men in all areas at every level, regardless of how little or how much you know about dating and relationships. The bottom line is that if the eye-opening, life-altering knowledge that these 7 modules and 4 bonuses provide in this groundbreaking 200-hour course doesn't drastically improve your dating and relationship prospects, then nothing will. You owe it to yourself to give dating one last try, and now is the time. Go to tsracademy.com to learn more. There we go. All right. All right, we are back. We are back and ready to go. We are back and ready to go. Listen, I do thank you guys. I do thank you guys for your patience. We have now been at this for. Damn it, I hate when I do that. We've been at this for 3 hours and 20 minutes. I think I don't know, man. I don't know anyone who live streams. I don't know. Rollo's actually, you know what? Never mind. Rollo actually, he does. He regularly does live streams this long. James Hines says, the George Floyd shit is the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard. What about it? What about the George Floyd shit is the most ludicrous thing you've ever heard, James? Oh, yeah, Sean Morris, you did send me a super chat a while back. Yes. And I think I missed another one, too. Hang on a second. Yes, Panda Trucker. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let me read these super chats, and then we will get on with the Hard Art podcast. Continue. Panda Trucker with the $5 super chat says, black people are 13% of the population, however, account for the 56% of violent crimes. Make it make sense. Yeah, niggas are violent. Niggas are violent. This is just how it is. As mentioned before, yeah, Sean Morris with a $10 super chat says, Drew is spot on. Our music went from calling people shining stars to niggas and hoes. Everyone used to copy our culture. Now everyone laughs and avoids it. We are the laughing stock of the world now. That is a Don fucking DeMarco, man. Appreciate that very, very much. Michael Mara says, Don, I appreciate the breakdown on this tragedy. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, now we are going to get into the next segment of the Hard R podcast. And that, of course, is breaking down. And reacting to police videos. Now, let me do a quick something. All right, I've got the Hard R bingo card all set up. Let me do a quick. I want to see if there is another Chicago waitress attacked. Give me a second here. Violently attacked. This video shows. Okay. All right. So we are going to start the the Hard R podcast, which means we are also going to be playing Hard R Bingo. Let me make sure the Hard R. There it is. There is the Hard R Bingo card. There we go. Let me go ahead and make sure that everything is back up where it needs to be. The first thing we are going to react to. The first thing that we're going to react to. This is actually something that happened. Give me a second here. Bingo, bongo. So many of these. There we go. Bada bing. There we go. There we go. Okay, so welcome to Hard R Bingo. Now, we're not going to be playing Hard R Bingo. We're not going to be playing Hard R Bingo with this particular story. This particular story is entitled Chicago Waitress Violently Beaten by Women Demanding a Refund. Full surveillance video. Okay, there we go. All right, we're good to go. All right, and away we go.
At 10, a waitress attacked and beaten at a...
Oh, by the way, a waitress, the waitress attacked and beaten. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. This is called hashtag the usual suspects, guys. Hashtags the usual suspects. Clevin Campbell says, I'm late, but didn't they attack him? No, Clevin, they didn't attack him. There was no they. Austin Metcalf confronted Carmelo Anthony, who stabbed him in the heart. Period. James Himes, of course, appears to be another cowardly ass nigga who wants to come in here and drop a comment and not substantiate his claim. I'm late, but didn't they attack him? See, this is that misinformation. This is that misinformation that niggas are putting out to try to justify, that are trying to justify this. Luke Perry says, hashtag no spoilers, hashtag usual suspects. Yeah, I didn't really have to spoil that. We all knew what it was. So this next story is, I'm a little late on this, but it's about a waitress in Chicago who was violently beaten by a woman demanding a refund. Let's check it out.
Tonight at 10, a waitress attacked and beaten at a Pilsen restaurant by two female customers who then took off. It was all captured on surveillance video. This happened on Sunday at El Taco Azteca in Pilsen. NBC5's J.
Motherfucking tacos again. See, now I want tacos.
JC Navarrete with reaction tonight.
Una rabia? I feel rage, primarily because something like this has never happened before. And for it to be over a $50 bill just doesn't make any sense.
There it is. I am out. See, nothing like this has ever happened before. You want to know why? This guy is clearly Hispanic. This kind of shit doesn't happen in Hispanic communities in America.
A merciless beating caught on camera, all stemming from a dispute over the check.
Oh my God.
Before fists flew, a disgruntled customer went behind the bar and dunked the waitress's phone into a bucket after she was told she would not be getting a refund. The restaurant alleges both customers had finished most of their takeout order when they demanded a refund. That same customer...
They demanded a refund. Oh my God. So these black bitches beat the crap out of this waitress because they wanted to eat for free. That's what this was. This is what niggas do all the time. This is what black women do all the time. This is how they scam. They like to go someplace they like to eat. They like to run up a bill and say, I demand a refund for some bullshit reason. Unbelievable. These bitches wanted to eat for free. They wanted to eat for free. Unbelievable.
Then takes her frustrations out on the restaurant.
Look at this. Look at her destroying shit. Look at this.
Employees tell me the waitress began to call 911, escalating the situation into an all-out melee.
Oh my God.
The beating continued for about 2 minutes, where both women were seen stomping, punching, and kicking the waitress. I came in, and when I heard what was going on, I was able to pull off one of her attackers. When we finally got them separated, one of them turned to me and started swinging. We're keeping that waitress identity anonymous here tonight. We can tell you, though, she is recovering, but she did suffer a broken pinky, bruises on her head, and cuts on her face, as well as bruised ribs. Tonight, the restaurant is calling on Chicago police to find those responsible.
Jesus.
And tonight, Marta is not mincing words. She has a message for those responsible. I want them to know we're going to find you, whatever it takes. I'm putting everything I have into this. I have no doubt about it. We're going to find you. JC Navarrete, NBC5 News.
It says continue watching for the full surveillance video. Now I'm not going to watch the full surveillance video. I'm not going to watch that full surveillance video. I might just break it down. I might actually just break it down on on Rumble at some point. Holy God. Typical, the usual suspects. Mason with the $2 super chat says that's why you give these women nothing. There you go. That's why you don't give these women anything, man. Ken Groove 713 says SYSBM. Absolutely. Ghost 1978 says it's self-defense. Yeah, right. All right. So now it is time for Hard R Bingo. Give me a second. Wait a minute. Where's the bingo card? Walter, what are you doing? Walter, come here, buddy. Come here. I don't need you around the modem, okay? I don't need you around the modem. I think Walter fell asleep in my, one of my boxes. So this video is entitled Uncooperative Passenger Attacks Officers During a Traffic Stop. Oh my God. And away we go.
February 24th, 2024, officers observed a black Chevy Malibu idling in the middle of the road. When they approached, the passenger became uncooperative, refusing commands and escalating the situation.
He can't get in here with the door.
Here we go. Look. The usual suspects. There it is.
Do you
need something from me?
Yeah, turn the car off. I'm not rolling it down. We're leaving.
Oh, these niggas are drunk, y'all.
Yeah, it's off.
Can you roll that window down, please? No, don't roll it down. You ain't got to roll it down. I'm telling you, you know what I want to do.
It's okay.
Bruh. Oh my God. This nigga right here is gonna fuck around and get somebody shot. The officer asked him, can you please roll down your window? He's like, no, we don't have to roll down the window. This nigga is looking for trouble.
You ain't got to roll it down.
I need you to just calm
You ain't got to
down.
roll it down. I don't want to talk to him, so there's no point in rolling it down.
Oh, this nigga's drunk?
What?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
For what? Wait. For what?
Wait, what? Hold on, dude. This dude is leading this girl astray. Did you see the officer says, do you have your driver's license on you? Now watch.
Do you have your driver's license on you? What?
Me?
Yep.
Yeah.
For what?
Look, there it is. Me? Yep, sure. She was about to grab it. And now what does this nigga do?
Wait. For what?
And I need your ID.
For what? I'm a passenger. You don't need my ID.
Well, you don't have your seatbelt on. I need
Bruh. Oh, this is gonna get ugly.
your ID right now.
It's okay.
Take him out.
Okay, all right. So guess what? Hard R Bingo is underway. Hard R Bingo is underway because the nigga's already talked about not wanting to get the give the ID. Oh boy, we're in big trouble.
Take him out of the car. Take him out of the car.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Oh, they about to take him out now. Oh, it's about to go down.
I locked my door.
Open this door. Unlock all the doors. Open your door.
The woman, dude, the woman appears to want to comply. The woman appears to want to comply.
Can I ask what is going on
Open
right
your
now?
door. He's getting out of the car. Open your door. Oh, everybody's about to get pepper sprayed in here.
Oh, shit. Yo, he said everybody's about to get pepper sprayed. Yeah, they about to drag his ass out. Oh, look at this. Yeah. No, there it is. Oh, there it is. Now they gonna grab his ass. There it is. Now they gonna grab his ass.
I'm on top of you. What now?
They're gonna have to tase him.
I'm on top of you. It's choking down. Stop. Get the off me, stupid. Stop.
So this is the type of nigga that likes to talk shit to the cops. You're on top of me, stupid. You're a bitch ass nigga. Blah 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 blah. This is how niggas get shot.
And watch this.
Yeah, it took all 6 of y'all to take me down. So your ass is going to jail.
Secure one hand.
I got his legs.
Hey, to my right is soft as. You couldn't do nothing. You saw this. It took 8 to take me down.
What did I tell you? That needs to be added to the bingo card. It took all of y'all to take me down. So? What are you going to brag about the fact that you act like a wild animal? It takes more than one human to take you down? That's nothing to brag about.
You soft as. I'm not resisting, stupid.
Nain Rouge says, wow, look what 86 proof does to your judgment.
I got $200 shoes on. Get the off my feet.
I got... He did say he's not resisting. I'll check that off in a second. Oh boy, we have a problem. Now we got a problem. Did this nigga really just say, I've got $200 shoes on? Is that what he said? Like, did this nigga really just to make sure? I don't want to speak out of turn.
I'm not resisting, stupid.
I'm not resisting, stupid. So, of course, now we're going to check that off on the Hard R bingo card. But listen to this nigga.
Get the off my feet. I got $200 shoes on. Good.
I got $200 shoes on. I got $200 shoes on. You know what? Hang on 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'm just going to flex on y'all a little bit. This nigga called $200. This nigga talking about I got $200 shoes. Unbelievable. Look. I'm gonna have to flex on you niggas. For show. You see what these are, guys? You see this? You see what that says? You probably can't. Okay. You see, the shoes that I paid $200 for, that I would actually brag about, come in a box, and each shoe comes with its individual color. Its individual cover. These are $1,400 Magnanis. $1,400 Magnanis, guys. This nigga talk about I got $200 shoes on. Unbelievable. These are custom-made double bunk strap red bottoms. $2,700. Niggas invest in Jordans. Niggas invest in Jordans and they brag about Jordans. Oh, this is actually very nice. I actually got a pair of $60 socks to go along with those. I haven't worn those yet. Niggas invest in Jordans. Okay? Black men invest in shoes. Guys. Black men invest in shoes. This nigga is talking about, I got $200 shoes on. Like, that is something to be proud of. Nigga, you got $200 shoes on right in your bitch's car. Right in your bitch's car. Unbelievable. I got $200 shoes on. Like, that's supposed to impress the cops? Nigga, what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Diabolical Man says Tristan Tate would be proud. Yeah, Tristan actually likes those shoes very much. Sorry, T. Sorry, bruh. Anyway, let's continue. Jesus.
You're gonna get tased. Get the off my feet. Stupid ass.
This nigga thinks he's balling because he's got on a pair of $200 Jordans. Nigga, you got on Mexican mics, bruh.
How about you? Not only that, Google is my best friend and I'll find you. I'll find you.
Oh, Google is my best friend. I will find you. So now he is threatening the cops. Now he is threatening the cops. Oh boy, I'll find you. Oh man.
That's not a threat, stupid.
He said that's not a threat, stupid. Yeah, that is a threat, nigga.
That's not a threat, stupid.
No, that is a threat. You said Google is my best friend and I'll find you. And why would you tell me you're going to find me? That's a threat, my friend. You are definitely in trouble now.
I said I'll find you. That's not a threat.
It's assault on a law enforcement
You a
officer.
dumbass.
Oh, this is Orlando. Damn.
That's not better.
Yeah, Trini, there it is. Trini Boy 32. So $200 shoes, but you're a passenger. Exactly. If you look, bruh, if you got $200, if you got $200 shoes, you better be driving, nigga. That's all I know.
That's all right now. Now you can switch. Now you can switch. Now you can switch. Get hey up. Yeah.
What the fuck? We got multiple niggas.
Hey,
I'm good, officer.
You're not gonna fight, are you?
No, sir. My head. I'm already covered. I'm not saying no. I ain't doing.
Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. Appreciate that. Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco to the black man who said, hey, I'm not going to fight you. I got it. And I can promise you this dude is probably going home if he doesn't do some dumb shit. Ghost 1978 says, I take that as a threat to myself and my family. Yep. And so does the Orlando Police Department. That dude is facing a felony.
Act up as y'all try some shit on him. I swear to them, act up as y'all try some shit on him.
Oh, my God. Okay, looks like he's got on some Adidas.
Calm
That nigga's drunk as hell.
Calm down.
Listen to your boy. Listen to your boy. Look, listen to your boy. He's telling him to calm down. You better listen to your homeboy. You better listen to your homeboy.
I go to the gym on Hiwassee. 5576 Hiwassee Road. It's a USC gym. I will really beat out of all of you.
I will really beat the shit out of all of you. There he goes. Basically telling him to take off the badge.
Look, he's tightening the cuffs on my wrist. He's tightening the cuffs.
He's tightening the cuffs on my wrist. He is tightening the cuffs on my wrist. Boy, this we might hit nigga bingo here. Loosen the handcuffs. All we need now is for a random nigga to intervene and for him to say I ain't do nothing.
On my wrist. He's tightening the cuffs on my wrist. He's tightening the cuffs on my wrist.
Dumb niggas, man. Dumb niggas.
I'm not getting my knees.
Justin Bendat says having friends like him is a liability. Yo, real talk. Real talk.
Bend your legs. We will bend them for you.
Clip it to your.
Yeah, what I tell you. Look, what I tell you. I told you they were fucking Jordans. Told you they were Jordans. Only nigga, dude, I swear to God, only niggas brag about $200 Jordans. I got $200 shoes on.
All y'all had to do was get away from the car. That's all y'all had to do. When you commit crime, what crime?
Shade says we already know he didn't do nothing. Yeah, exactly.
Hey, bro, stop talking, bro. What crime I committed? I'm gonna beat it. I have a lawyer. I'm gonna beat it.
Oh, I'ma beat it. I have a lawyer. I have a lawyer. There it is. But nigga, you ain't got a lawyer. You ain't got a lawyer. You don't even have a car, nigga. Call my attorney. I'ma beat it. I have a lawyer, bro. You're not beating shit.
I'm gonna beat it. I have a lawyer. That's why I'll get.
Okay, just because you have a lawyer doesn't mean you're going to beat anything. Carmelo Anthony has a lawyer. His ass is going to prison.
Just make sure he's searched well. OPD is stupid. I know I didn't commit a crime. OPD is stupid.
See, I know I didn't commit a crime. I didn't do nothing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yes, you did, nigga. You just assaulted and threatened a police officer.
He is stupid.
Don't be touching cops. Don't be touching cops. Don't be touching cops. You see my face? Get a good look at it. Good look at it.
I will really beat the fuck out of you. You are. Hey, I'm coming.
You had that opportunity already.
I promise I'll stone you.
You had that opportunity already.
What happened?
Look how it ended up.
I heard you. Hey, no, seriously, I need another responder. I heard you. I don't need medical. I promise I don't need medical. I promise I don't need medical. You so fast. I don't need medical. Hey, tell my girlfriend.
Hey, how many are going to be? Who's getting 10-15 on this? Obviously him. Who else?
I think it's just him. He's the only.
Yeah, he's the only dude. He's the only nigga that did anything.
The only one to swipe out doesn't fight us.
I'm
in handcuffs. I cannot move.
Dude, they got to get away from this dude. Nate Root says his homie intervened telling him to calm down. No, it's got to be a random nigga intervening on behalf of the trying to fuck with the cops. What's wrong with this dude?
40's here, so let's get him in the bag of this thing.
Oh, Praetorian Guard, I was just going to ask you. 1015 Florida code for arrest. Okay, very good.
Y'all are stupid. Y'all are stupid.
Panda Trucker with the $5 super chat says, I wear $300 boots that I destroy every day at work. Yeah, right?
Pick my phone up, stupid.
You guys turn?
Pick my phone up. Pick my phone up, stupid.
You guys check this bag?
Dumbass.
Dude, this nigga's just like a bitch. He's going to talk a bunch of shit. Toss his ass in there.
Tell mom to charge you.
He got his ass hog fucking tied. Hell yeah, his mouth got his ass hog tied.
Dumbass. I got Spanish. Dumbass. They literally let anybody in the forest. They let anybody in the forest.
I swear to God, niggas are so...
All right, buddy. What's gonna happen is we're gonna flip you so you're not on your stomach.
There you go, do your job. That's not mine. That's my best.
See, do your job. See, oh my God, they're so fucking female, dude.
There you go. Good job.
Thanks, buddy.
They turned you a little bit.
Okay.
There you go. I'll do the rest. I got you. I'll do the rest.
Okay. You good?
I need this shit slid down on my legs. Slide it down a little bit.
No, they ain't doing that. No, they ain't doing that.
I got a torn ACL.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Nigga,
for
well,
you.
too bad. Guess what? Guess what? You got a torn ego now too, nigga.
I know the law, so it's cool. Yeah.
No, you don't know the law, nigga. If you knew the law, you wouldn't have acted. You wouldn't have acted that stupid. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Let me hear it. So
Today is February 24th.
February 24th.
Actually, hold on. It's almost February 24th.
All right.
February 24th.
So it's February 23rd.
0059 hours. I am here to do a response to resistance because I see you have a lip.
I don't have a lip.
You literally, I'm looking at it.
Take a picture and show me.
I'm not going to show you. I am going to take a picture.
This nigga talking about take the picture and show me. Oh yeah, that's right. He said I know my rights.
You don't run.
That should be on there.
This.
Well, take a picture so I can see.
I'm not showing you anything.
Nobody hit me, so why would I have a lip?
So nobody hit you?
No.
So you're not injured?
So why would I have a lip? If I have a lip, I'm injured. So you said I have a lip, so I'm injured. Yes, I'm injured.
Okay.
OPD injured me.
I am doing a response to resistance investigation.
All right.
Because I am the sergeant on duty.
All right.
I see you have on and around your lips.
All right.
So now I'm here to ask you about what happened today.
All right.
Here's your chance to tell me.
I'm gonna tell you, because you weren't here, like you said, you're here to ask me, so you weren't here. Cool, I ain't got no problem with you. They walked up to the car, they told my girlfriend to drive off. There's traffic, so she can't drive off. So like, hey, you need to drive.
Oh shit, Praetorian Guard says downtown is wild, so they pay off-duty cops $100 an hour? God damn. Holy shit.
I said, hey, you are about to drive off, so y'all can leave. They said, hey. I said, no. You said, go. I don't know in what world our people are scared of the police, but I don't have a record. When you run me, you'll see I don't have a record. Cool, I don't have a record, so I'm not afraid to talk back to the police. I said, no, you said.
I don't have a record, so I'm not afraid to talk back to the police. That's what niggas' problems are now, man.
Don't talk to her like that. He said, hey, we can arrest you. I said, for what? He said, for disorderly conduct. I said, no, we're getting ready to leave and they're not even driving. He came to the passenger side. He said, hey, unlock the door. Talk to my girlfriend. I said, you ain't got to unlock it. I'll keep locking it. Eventually, it got unlocked and they pulled me out of the car. But the moral to the story, they was telling her to leave and she can't leave because there's traffic.
Okay. So,
what they want her to do, run into somebody?
I'm not here to talk about the criminal aspect of it.
I know it's not court.
I'm here to talk
about
your injury only.
I get it.
So, do you want to tell me about how you became injured?
I mean, I can't see myself.
You literally have lip all across your
Like
lip.
I said, I don't taste.
Okay.
I can't see. So if there is, y'all did it. If there is, Orlando Police Department.
But you have no idea how it happened.
If there is, Orlando Police Department.
Do you know how it happened?
I'm telling you right now. If there is, Orlando Police Department was roughhousing me, abusing the authority, and they bust my
There we
head.
go. Yep.
Okay.
I wasn't resisting.
How did that happen?
I just told you, I wasn't resisting.
I wasn't resisting. How did that happen? No, you have a busted lip because you resisted.
So every time while the officers were giving you commands, you weren't kicking, punching, and screaming?
Nobody gave me commands.
I literally was there while they were giving you
Well, tell me the commands they gave me. So that way they can replay both clips. So what were the commands they gave me?
Stop resisting, stop kicking me, stop pulling away, stop
Okay,
pushing.
great. I never was kicking.
You kicked me. You kicked me.
Wait. I never was kicking.
You kicked me. That's why you have this on your
cool.
legs.
If you got it on video, that's fine.
Yeah, it is.
He's got it on video, Nick.
I have it. I never was. Don't tap the button.
No, I'm tapping where the camera
Okay,
is.
goo. I never was kicking, so nobody told me stop kicking because I wasn't with kicking.
Okay.
Nobody told me stop resisting because I put my hands behind my back myself. They didn't have to do it. I did it.
Okay.
I mean, I work out. You got some soft ass obvious that was sparring.
Oh, Jesus.
And then when the dude
he a tough nigga.
was pressing down on my head came, that's when I pulled my hand out. And I was like, no, he's not going to press my hand to the ground because my arms are already behind my back. And that's when they said you were resisting. But no, nobody was resisting. I put my hands behind my back myself.
Okay.
I did it. I know the role. I'm not new to downtown.
If you're not new to, if you ain't got a record, then how are you so familiar with all this stuff?
I don't get arrested. I have a friend that is an officer.
I'll wait till you're done talking.
Oh, there it is. I have a friend that is an officer. There it is. There it is. I have a friend that's an officer. How about that?
I'm gonna get off, but like I said, it's cool.
Yeah, Emo Muzz says, is there a correlation between low IQ and not being able to shut the fuck up?
Yep.
Yeah, yes, there is. Yeah. Praetorian Guard says he is high on something. Yeah.
Whatever y'all want to do, that's fine too. But I didn't kick nobody. I wasn't resisting. I've already had a resisting arrest, and I got that shit kicked out because I wasn't resisting. I'm cool. I work for the county. I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool. I don't care.
Other than the visual I see on your lip, do you have any other injuries? Or do you feel pain in any location?
Not that I can feel. If there's any other injuries,
whatever that dude is high on, I can promise you this dude is not feeling any pain.
the Orlando Police Department did it, and I don't feel it. And I probably don't feel it because I work out. That's the end. There you go. You can walk away now.
Well, I'm going to take a picture of your lips before I leave. Well, I have to load up the system. We don't take just random pictures.
I'm just saying, I'll sit up.
See, this is the last word type of nigga. Oh my god, dude. Oh, this is the type of nigga that just needs his ass beat. Like somebody just needs to take him behind the woodshed and just beat the fuck out of this dude. Because all this dude does is talk. Like he's one of these passive aggressive type niggas who's really like, he's the type of dude that is angry on the inside all the time. He's angry on the inside all the time. You can tell. And the reason why he's angry on the inside, you can tell he's angry on the inside because he's always talking and smiling, but he's being aggressive physically. Yeah, Praetorian Guard says the other inmates are going to tune him up. Yeah, dude. If he ever goes to jail or prison, they're going to fuck him up. All that mouth, dude, that mouth is going to be, he's going to shut that mouth.
I'm saying, Harry,
the only reason why these people get mouthy with the cops is because the cops can't beat the fuck out of them. That's why. That's the only reason why. Right? It doesn't make you bold or brave to be mouthing off to the cops like this, because the only reason why you're mouthing off to the cops is because you know they can't fuck you up.
I'm just saying, I'll sit up for you. I didn't do nothing. There's no reason for me to be back here.
You know there is. That's why you keep saying this. You didn't do nothing.
Real people out here that's probably going to shoot up downtown, and y'all are taking all this time to arrest me. That's stupid. Not only that, I got money. That's even more stupid.
I got money, yet you were in somebody's ride.
All right, if you wouldn't mind sitting up just so I can take a picture of your face, please.
I do mind, so take a picture where you at.
See, there it is. See, there's that passive aggressiveness, right? See? He's like, I don't mind. I'll sit up for you. Blah, 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 blah. And now the officer asked him, will you sit up, please? No, I do mind. This nigga's angry, y'all. This nigga's angry. This is the type of nigga that's a ticking time bomb. He's a ticking time bomb. He's all smiles until somebody crosses him. He's all smiles until somebody crosses him. Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. Dude, this is the type of dude that needs his ass kicked. Real talk.
There you go. Good job, brother. I like you. I like you. I like you a lot. I like you a lot, brother. I like you a lot.
Thank you. Yes, No Demi says that makes you cowardly. You're goading someone who's being professional. Exactly.
A lot.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell me before I leave?
Can I send you a seat?
We can try to, if you're going to be compliant with us.
I'll comply, yeah. I wasn't discompliant. That's what I'm saying. I would never.
Give me a second and we'll work that out.
I would never.
Got a second. All right. Was anyone else a witness to this situation?
Other car left, so the only other two people that were here is her, driver, and the backseat passenger.
Did they actually see what occurred here, or were they already pulled away during the incident?
I don't know that answer.
You don't know? Okay.
That's actually What's your name?
Hello, sir. My name is Sergeant Holstein. I am conducting.
What's their name?
Hello, sir.
I want everyone.
Hello. Hello.
I want everyone.
Oh, no. Now the little nigga's wilding out. Now the little nigga's wilding out. What's your name? What's your badge number? Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. Hello, sir. I'm conducting a response to resistance investigation in reference to the subject that was over here.
No, I'm not resisting.
Not you. Just listen to the words I'm saying, please.
No, but y'all kicked him. Y'all kicked him. Y'all touched him.
Did you see what happened to your friend over here?
My boy was talking shit and one with his stomach. He wasn't doing shit to you. What you talking about?
Okay, can you tell me what happened with your friend here?
I can't tell you shit. You got her on the corner.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, ma'am. I am Sergeant Holstein with the Orlando Police Department. I'm conducting what's called a response to resistance investigation. Apparently, one of the passengers in the car received some injuries during the incident with officers. I was wondering if you saw.
Here, I can't focus on you.
Look at that.
Let's start over. Okay,
I heard the first part. Somebody got hurt.
Okay, so anyway, somebody in your car has a visible injury on their body. I'm just trying to find out if anyone saw what happened to the subject. You didn't see anything? Okay, thank you very much.
Because it wasn't just out in the open.
That's
but what
fine.
am I getting?
I got it. It's no problem.
Cool.
All right.
So
they issue you a citation for standing in the roadway and blocking traffic. Okay? Your car is parked in the roadway, off to the side, blocking traffic. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
So
do I sign something?
No, you don't have to sign nothing.
All right.
The citation is a moving violation. It's $164. You have 30 days to pay it. Okay?
All three of these niggas are out of pocket, y'all. All three of them. All three of these niggas are out of pocket, y'all. Sorry. In Incredible. Incredible.
The charges are in the back.
Thanks.
You have any questions?
Nope.
Okay. I'm gonna put this in the car along with your driver's
No, it's okay. I'll take it.
Do you guys all see how passively aggressive they're being?
She's saying, I can take this off, put this hand on the wall. Crazy. Tell me all over my car and I'm blocking. Thank you.
We good. Yeah, these two are good now. He's what? Cuffs up! Dang, that's crazy.
You're gonna bite a dog, bro.
Dude, he is running off at the mouth,
He's
bro.
gonna touch you. You've been really into it. Just be careful.
Oh, no.
Get your feet.
You ain't lift me. I can't do nothing.
You paralyzed?
Lift me up.
We're trying to get you out of here. Can you put your feet down? Bend your knees.
Can you?
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Bend your knees.
See y'all play.
Can you
Well,
bend
y'all ass nigga. Sorry.
This is absolutely crazy.
There you go.
You're too, son. You're man, get me out of this. We're taking them off. She's going home. I'm down. I want all your names on the piece of paper. It's on the paper, bro. I need all that. I know. Bash. I thought you were filmed. Your father been saying that.
This is absolutely crazy.
I ain't doing no.
Ay. That's going to do it, guys. We'll see you next time.